Did you think that would get me feeling down? No, that made me drive all around that old small town. Did you think I would drown in your pain? Hell to the no, let me explain. I drove up to that old dive bar on the corner of a new tomorrow. I thought I was going in to drink away my sorrows. Instead I danced the night away. Boom popping, bar hopping, body rocking, foot stomping all night long. As you drove on by that old glowing neon sign, you see me walking in with someone new. You thought you left me broken and alone, waiting for me to pick up that damn phone. Did you think I would move on? It was a new day you left for me tomorrow. Hell to the no, let me explain. I drove up to that old dive bar on the corner of a new tomorrow. I thought I was going in to drink away my sorrows. Instead I danced the night away. Boom bopping, bar hopping, body rocking, foot stomping all night long. Instead I danced the night away. Boom bopping, bar hopping, body rocking, foot stomping all night long. Hell to the no, let me explain. I drove up to that old dive bar on the corner of a new tomorrow. I thought I was going in to drink away my sorrows. Instead I danced the night away. Boom bopping, bar hopping, body rocking, foot stomping all night long. Instead I danced the night away. Boom popping, bar hopping, body rocking, foot stomping all night long.
Where you at, Grandis? Where you at, Grandis? I know you're in this motherfucker somewhere. Where you at? Y'all see Grandis? Where Grandis go? Grandis!
Nothing check was real either.
Wait, hold on.
Nobody believes none of your shit. The only reason we ever bring your name up, if you ever think about it,
The only reason they ever bring our names up, boy, I tell you what, y'all just can't stop bringing my name up. What are you talking about? You've been making your monthly drug money on my name. You and Shay and CZ and everybody else for weeks now. Won't you shut the fuck up and leave my name at your mouth? Talking about we only bring your name up, blah, blah, every live, every panel you've ridden, the subs and view count you got back. Bitch, that's because of me and my fucking name that's spewing out of your asshole mouth.
I have nothing pulled up. Thank you, Angel, so very much. We've been talking about the weight loss. Yes, I've lost a little bit of weight. We're going to go over, Tiffany gave me 2 lives. I want to go over, I don't know, I wanted to also go over Hidden True Crime. I haven't finished Benny yet. So I have future lives set up for the rest of the week. Tonight, however, we're going to go over Tiffany Marie and TT. Now, I don't remember when the last time I heard this or if I did hear it, but after my live this afternoon, I feel this is important to go over because this is where I believe Squall and TT had a really big fight and where we were introduced to TT. All right, so let's fire it up. And I'll probably have to take the Benny portion of that last video out. They made me do it last time.
But it's okay. Hey, Anne, I know I've been kind of away. Taking a break.
Praying for David.
Hey, Sabrina, KB, Mel Carter, Blonde Bunny. We got a lot of snow. I got like 2 feet of snow. So I just got, hey, Stellar. Great to see you bringing us facts without any nonsense. You know me. I'm glad you're here. I haven't seen you in a while, Stellar. Thanks, Jen. Hi, Ann Weller. How are you? So she's from Beach Creek, but she moved away. So she hasn't been in that area in quite some time. But when she was in Beach Creek, there were some things that happened to her that really, should be actually discussed, especially with Summer's disappearance and her age. Hey, Zip. I'm back. You want a snowstorm? It was a nice snowstorm, actually. Yes, that's September, Virgo. But it's crazy because there'll be like areas where there's no snow at all, and then huge chunks of like 2 feet of snow. Like I could see some grass in certain parts of my lawn, but then it would be up to my waist in other parts. So you get the drifts. Is Tennessee Truth in here? I don't know. She has, hey, just a sub. How are you? You got a snowstorm too, Katie? Yeah. I think a lot of people got snow, actually. Hey, Nika. Good to see you dodging. You're not mad at me anymore? Thank you. Let me see. You got a little bit of snow, Ambi. Your 2-year-old grandson was saying, stay off my papa's lawn. That's so funny, actually. I just had my parents' dog was here running all through the snow and stuff. We were having fun. I don't care about it. It's all right. I do like very nice, neat snow, though. That's funny. That's not a lie about me. She was here, and everyone showered her. Where was she? I didn't even notice she was in here. All right, I missed her. Hey, Lise. Yes, I'm back. I've been here all along. I just haven't been in the mood to go live. Dodging. How could you be mad at me? I don't know. That's what I was saying. Lee Marie, what? Yeah, of course. What other color would it be? I do have friends that have never seen snow, though. Hey, Jonesy, how are you? Wake up. Sabrina, I'm not that brave. I'm already cold. Good to see you, but I've never seen you before. The Anointed Praise. Good to see you again. So you must have changed your name. Hey, Tammy Lynn. Michelle B. Hello, I don't want yellow snow, only white. Glitter Queen. Tennessee asked for prayers. Hold on. Lady R. She said she was nervous. I think she's also nervous. Yeah, she might be nervous, and it's okay. We're all here for her. She'll come up whenever she's ready. Aw. Yeah, we just got up. Oh, I was a little late. We were talking on the phone. Hey, we Scottish. Hold on. Let me give you your wrench back. Give me a minute. Don't be nervous, Tennessee Truth. Come on. Everyone's here for you. Yes, Luda says you've got this. Let me find a wee Scottish. I saw your comment. There you go, wee Scottish. I know it's you, honey. Yes, do not be nervous. She'll be all right. She'll come up when she's ready. Okay. We're always really focused on the Wells all the time, right? And I think that aside from anything you might think about the case or whatever, go into it with an open mind and listen to her story, because there are so many different things that could have happened to Summer. I really think that the story that you're about to hear will probably open your mind up a little bit more. Hey, Chris, how are you? You like my pic? Thank you. She's gonna come up. She's a sweetheart. She really is. Hey, Zip. All right, none of this. I'll unblock you later. I don't want Charles in here. Yeah, so many possibilities. Hey, Pixie. I've missed you so much. I've been thinking about you every day for the past week. My daughter had her state's cheer competition yesterday and said, Mom, make sure you send me a cheer video. Send it to me, Pixie. I want to see it. Did you? You could have already sent it to me and I missed it. I love watching Pixie's daughter cheer. Yeah, Pixie's here. I've been quiet lately, Pixie. Yeah, We Scottish is back. She locked herself out. Okay, Tennessee, shut your... All right, actually, do you want me to change it to the picture? Hold on a second. She wants me to put this picture on for her. Let me... shut your camera off, babe. No one can see you. All right, hold on. Can I change your picture? I don't think I can. All right, either way, here you go. I can't change your photo. I can change your name, just not your photo. But this one's just fine.
Okay.
Can you hear
Can
me?
you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. All right, so welcome Tennessee Truth, everybody. She's been here a long time. Everybody knows who she is. I'm pretty sure anybody following Summer knows who you are. Are you all right? Are you a little bit less nervous? Don't be scared. There's not a lot of people in here anyway.
Yeah, I'm scared. I mean, I'm not. I'm just nervous, but I'm good.
It's okay. I think it's really normal to be nervous. Everybody's welcoming you.
Once I
said, I think it's totally normal for you to be nervous. It'll go away.
Okay.
Everybody's welcoming you.
Thank you all. I can't say names and things. I hope everyone understands that because I don't want to say anything that would hinder Summer's investigation.
Yeah, so she's not going to keep any names in the forefront. She's going to keep the name of the person completely out of it so that it doesn't have any kind of effect. I think some people probably know, who she's talking about, but you really don't know because she's not saying anybody's name. So if everybody could be respectful of that, that would be great.
Right.
Go ahead, Ann.
I don't know where you want me to start.
Okay, so all right. So Tennessee Truth had come to me. What was probably a couple months ago now, right?
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
Yeah, she had some concern and
you really kept me private.
I
said you've really respected my privacy. Yeah,
yeah,
can you hear me?
Of course. Yes. Yeah, I didn't say a word to anybody. I just kept it to myself because it's her story and her story alone to discuss and talk about. And I'm really proud of you for coming up here. I can't make the decision for you whether you wanted to speak, but I support you either way. Whatever you decide to do, whatever you decide to tell, or anything you are okay with, I'm okay with. So you go right ahead and you got a lot of love here.
Well, like I heard you say before I came to the backstage thing, I heard you say how I was born and raised in Beech Creek. And I mean, I've traced it back, the genealogy and things like that, all the way back to 1930 and 1940 with my family. I did a ancestry DNA because I didn't know my father. He passed away when I was 3, so I didn't ever really know his family. And then I had my mother that had me very, very young. So I was raised by my grandparents. And going back, probably late 1950s, 60s, is when my mother's side of the family originated. But my father's is one of the first 5 of the people that originated on Beech Creek. So I've came across a lot of surprises to the connections. Like just that I'm related to some suspects on both sides of my family.
So your grandfather was
No.
basically like a first settler of Beach Creek in a way, like he was one of the original people that had land there, and your family originated in Beach Creek, right?
My father's family did, yes.
Okay.
The one that I
Okay.
didn't know, yes.
Okay.
And the more research that I dug into my father, the more questions that I had, because my father was very, very much older than my mother. And then I started thinking about the connections that my family on my mother's side had, and knowing my experience in Beach Creek.
I got a Dorito in my mouth. Hold on. She told me in those messages we read earlier that her mother was 13 years old and her father was in his 50s. Another red flag. He's a Moody, she's a Crawford Light.
I've never followed a missing child until summer.
So you're not a true crime person. Summer just really caught your eye and you really linked in with the story, right? Basically, she's saying she doesn't
I
follow.
didn't even know that this side of YouTube.
Don't worry,
But,
none of us do this.
I like watching it on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't at all until summer. I would just do, music and things like that, but I didn't know they had new channels like this at
Yeah.
all.
I think live
until summer.
like a couple years ago.
Yeah. So when Summer first went missing, I still didn't know this out of YouTube. So I was following on Facebook, and wow, those Facebook groups can be brutal.
Yeah, Facebook is crazy.
Yeah, so I don't do that anymore. But my family, I just really, just knowing the area, and even though I moved away, I still have family there, although I don't speak or associate myself with them at all because they have different lifestyles than I do. And I've just chosen, stay not to associate. Most of the family that I associated with has passed away, including my mother and my father. So, and aunts and uncles and things like that. So I just know the stories that they told me. And there was stories back then, like I said, back all the way back, like way back, generations and generations back. And I think me and you had the conversation because I asked you back then, what were they doing other than moonshine?
Right.
And trying to put pieces together because I know that my grandfather ran moonshine. I heard the stories. I rode horses all over that mountain with my grandfather, rabbit hunting, squirrel hunting, deer. We would ride a horse. There's sheds and places everywhere, it's old, abandoned, down, and different families, but everybody knows everybody. Literally. Like even surrounding counties, if that makes sense. I think there's like 9 surrounding counties, including like Bristol, Virginia, even states surrounding. That's, not far away.
Well, right. It makes sense, right? It's just a border, it's a county line or whatever. It doesn't really matter. I know exactly what you mean. So you can live in Hawkins County, but be close with people over the line in Sullivan County.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yes. It's like different haulers. They're still, this one, because see, the families has branched out and we moved away.
So do you want to explain what, so you moved away, but some of your family didn't. So you still have remaining family in Beach Creek, right?
I do.
Okay. And you want to be very protective of them, of course. So it's kind of difficult, right? So she's going to have to tell the story. Hi, Joanne. Oh, and Sergeant Blackrock, please let me know how you are and keep me updated in my email so that I know, because I'm going to worry about you now, Sarge. I love you. So when you decided to leave Beach Creek, how long have you been gone from Beach Creek? You personally?
I haven't. We left because of what happened to me. Mm, We moved. We moved away to a different county, far away, and I believe that they split ties and never spoke again.
Okay, so the event that took place, and this person that she's speaking of does live very close to Don and Candace, like very, very close. So that's why she's speaking about all of this. But and you don't even have to say how many years ago it was. If that's going to be some kind of like, problem, then don't worry about it.
I was 6 years old,
Mhm.
and reaching 50. Well, there, because I feel it.
You cut out, hun. It roboted for some reason. What did you say? One more time.
Feel like I'm.
She's buffering, guys. She might be getting a phone call. I know she's on her phone. So she was
Can you hear
6
me?
when she. Okay. Yes, better.
I don't know. My Wi-Fi cut out.
You're good.
I'm
Don't worry. I missed just like the last of what you said. It was just the short sentence.
I don't even know.
Oh, don't worry about it. Go
Anybody?
ahead. You said that you left Beach Creek when you were 6. That was the last
Yes,
thing that I
yes,
heard. Okay.
yes. And I'm an old lady now.
So how is that her and Squall stealing each other's stories? Because Squall was an adult that ran into Frank at the bar, went home, had a drink, called him up, met him or something, went and had a drink at his house, was tied up, a diaper put on her. And then here's TT, who's saying she was 6 years old. She told me different stories. There's the story of the man that looks like Tim that took pictures of her. And then there's the story of Frank Light with 3 other boys in the woods. Let's see if her stories match what she told me.
I'm Mimi. I mean, I'm not as young as I once was. By no means. But I know the area still with family. I mean, they're all passed away now, but over the years, I would still go back, not to Beach Creek, but there was some of my family that I would still go visit, but they've since passed away. So
Let me also tell you, she doesn't live too far from Beach Creek now. She's on a line. I believe it's Washington or Greene County. She's played a lot of games in Summer's case. A lot. She claims she doesn't know these people, but everybody knows everybody, and she moved away a long time ago. And now she's married to this other guy who was married prior, has a daughter older. They have no children together, I don't believe. I do believe she has some children. Linda babysat for her. Her and Annie Saranac had a fight over pictures of her when she was a kid, but if everybody knows everybody, you should know your cousin. Right, TT? Just all odd to me.
basically, all my family that I associated myself with are gone. So I have my husband and my kids, and I mean, that's good. I'm blessed still. But so I was born in Beach Creek, and like I said earlier, my father had died whenever I was just really young. I didn't remember him at all. There's like one little memory of his funeral, and that's about it.
Again, he was in his 50s. Her mother was 13. She stuck with that story.
And like I said earlier, since I've got older, I've questioned because he was 40 years old and my mom was only 13. And I know that was, late 70s, but still, that just, it really hit me the wrong way thinking about it and realizing it. And then, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
I'm sorry. Okay.
You're good. I'm
Just-
listening to you.
Just realizing the things that I can remember until we moved away, and things that's happened that I've heard about and know about, including my own family, my own blood being criminals, seeing them on the local news, and thinking, oh my God, and being embarrassed of it. But
Some other stuff she was involved in was a 3-way call with Squall, and they thought she was chicken on a stick. It's in the text messages I showed earlier. The 3-way call was to the PIs, Trudy and Chris. Mainly Trudy.
I mean, I've said this before, there's good families, but every good family has bad. Me and you've talked about that, and like the law enforcement too. I have family in law enforcement in different counties, and I support them, but there is corruption in some law enforcement.
Right. Glitter Queen. Glitter Queen asks, were your parents part of an arranged marriage?
No, my mom refused to marry him because she didn't want people to think that she was just getting married because she was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a time again that when he had found out that he was dying, he wanted her to marry him again, and she refused again, worried about what people would think because, he found out he was dying, and she married him for the money, and my mom cared too much about what people think.
Well, I can understand that. Does anybody know? Nay, I don't know, hun. I apologize. So your mom and your dad both passed away, right? And then, so did they pass away and then you left, or they took you, right? They took you away from Beech Creek, correct?
No, my grandparents did.
Your grandparents did. Okay. So you lived
My
with your
mom was very young.
All right.
Yes. And I came from a big family. As to, if you go back to 5 generations from me, and some are still living back in there. They, there's good ones and there's bad ones. The majority are good, but they're not going to turn in anybody for anything. I wouldn't. I mean, they're just so tight knit, and they're just not going to do that. If anything, I mean, by now you would think that somebody had to see something, and they know something, but they haven't said anything. And there's a reason, because there's fear of these people that you don't want to make mad. You don't want them to have your name.
And you feel a little bit that way, right? With, well, I think you've come a long way, right? In terms of not wanting anybody to know who you are, and the fear factor in my opinion, you've grown quite a bit actually over the last couple months. I'm really surprised you're even up here. Because back when we first talked, I was like, wow, your story is really quite.
December 2022, Tiffany's surprised she's up here because Tiffany or TT is giving everybody bullshit stories. However, TT's already been to all the vigils and to campsites and all kinds of shit behind the scenes. She don't want nobody to see her face. Fuck you, TT.
Amazing, actually, and the transformation that you made for your own life. I have a tremendous amount of respect for you doing that. A lot of people probably wouldn't handle it so well, and you've never talked about what happened at all throughout all of Summer's case. You've just been watching and so quietly, observing things. Because Tennessee Truth will send me things here and there, and this connects the dots here, or this connects the dots there, but unless you're her, those dots might not connect unless you really know the insides and the interworkings of, I guess, this community you call Rogersville.
Beech Creek community. But then you have all the other little ones, like, you have Churchill, and all the surrounding. There's a bunch, and I know that a bunch came together, in the search, and I'm sure that they have more information than they're given.
Oh, for sure.
They have. And I have gave the DBI information more than once, so.
Right. So that's a huge part of this too, right? You want to make sure that people know that you reported. Do you want to talk a little bit about what exactly concerned you for Summer in the case of, in Summer's case? Do you want to talk about what really concerns you the most and why you're here?
Yeah, you may have to help me.
I'm here. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay. When I first learned that, when the Amber Alert came and it was so close, we were on vacation, and all our phones went off everywhere and woke us up. And we were like, oh my goodness. And then I saw, where she was from, and it said Beach Creek. So automatically, all around here, surrounding non-counties and however many states there is, everybody knows Beach Creek. And it's a very, very small community, but it's got a very bad name. So the statement that Sheriff Lawson made about it not being infested with like meth, drug dealers, and things like that, that was incorrect, in my opinion. That area is very dangerous, and anybody around can tell you that. Like, it is very dangerous. I've always tried to tell people that, like the other YouTubers and things that I came, not trying to scare them, but it's just not, it's well known for not to go down that road, like unless you're invited or your family.
And others,
And
yeah.
so there was a lot of truth in what Jody Sue said about the area.
Mhm.
And there's a couple others, that's local, that came out and talked about the area, and it's all the truth. And it's a really bad area, and there's some good people there. And it's sad because what it is the good people are the parents and the grandparents of some spoiled grandchildren that they're just like totally out of control or something too. And not just that, but there are a lot of criminals that was released not too long ago.
Mhm.
That's back out on the streets right before Summer went missing. And it's disturbing to me. Even family members that I have a criminal record that are living in that area. They don't have anything like child abuse or anything like that. It's drugs, but it's
Mhm.
all connected. It's all connected. It's connected to the drug trafficking and all that. My theory of her being abducted. So,
And Tennessee Truth, you do feel strongly that Summer was abducted, right?
I don't know if I want to use that word now. I was a very sympathetic person to the Whales in the beginning. I had no idea who they were. I had never heard of them. And I had sympathy for them, thinking, oh my gosh, these people from up north have moved in the middle of Beach Creek, and their little girl's gone. That's the first thing I thought was somebody in the area didn't like them. And I know how territorial people are with their land, especially, whenever it's family and they want, a lot's been sold off to out of state people, and the rebels are mad about it. And I've told you, whenever Don said these boys and those boys, he really means that. It's not the cornbread mafia. It's that you've got these boys and those boys. You've got those wannabe gangster cowboys, but then you've got the real cowboys, that you wouldn't ever imagine would do something to harm a child, but they are. So it's really
these boys
heartbreaking
and
like that.
There really is like a not really so much a gang, but I guess you could call it that, right? For out there, you've got how many different groups would you say?
Oh my goodness.
Justin, let's say you lived in Beach Creek. What would your opinion of these boys and those boys mean? Like,
it would be two different sides, just like it is in Summer's case. You've got, but the more that I've studied Candace, and after the Dr. Phil, and knowing what I know just of, hearsay, I think that she very well could be responsible for something that is horrific.
So your mind is open to everything, but at
Yes.
the same time, there's things that stand out to you that you really feel so strong and passionate about coming forward to speak about, because anything is possible, basically. So to give people more of an idea, that way they know like where you stand. It's not really so much about what actually happened, it's what could have happened, and going through all of the different scenarios in your mind and thinking which is more likely, or how this could have came to be with Summer. And I personally, I back your message fully, because I think it's that important as well. So thank you for coming up here.
Well, thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
And, I don't know. I know that my experience and my suspicions, and I've tried not to have tunnel vision, and I've tried to see all the possibilities, because, I've worried about Summer. This has affected me. It stirred up things that I put away that happened to me as a young child that I don't think I ever dealt with, and now I'm dealing with it. And so that's been really hard, and I was hoping that I could just bring that out. And I can't say names, but there are registered sex offenders, more than one in that area, walking distance, that are there right next to Summer, or was next to her, and she could have wandered off down by the creek or wherever and been out of sight, and someone saw that opportunity. Or now I'm even thinking, did Candace, what kind of monster is she? Because I'm losing all hope. I'm like, and everybody, I mean, I'm sure can agree with me when I say this, if this was my child, I would not be behaving the way that she
Right.
is. I wouldn't be playing games. I wouldn't be, doing the laughing thing. This is not a joke. And if you want to find
TT, you've also played games. I'm confused about your rule out here. You're on vacation, but you're searching for Summer. You're Candace's friend, but you're her enemy. You confuse the fuck out of me. You're Linda's friend. You know exactly who Squall is. So, she told me Squall was at Linda's daycare on the first day vigil. Lots of stuff.
on your kid, I mean, you need to act like adults and get rehab and really find Jesus. Because I've lost faith. I tried to be sympathetic in the beginning. I did. I always try to see the best in people. I do. I don't like to have bitter, hateful feelings. And I don't have bitter and hateful feelings against the person that hurt me. I'm sure that he's listening. I'm not mad. I can't hold unforgiveness in my heart. That's unhealthy, and you can't get to heaven. So I'm a very forgiving person.
But it was
But I feel that it's important that everybody know that area has criminals, drug, like meth, hard drugs, not just anything, and I have tried to wrap my mind around, I don't want to think that Summer could have been trafficked or sold. I don't want to think that.
Right. None of us.
Right. I mean,
It's very hard to think about when it comes to Summer or any child. But I mean, when you've been invested for this long, the last thing you want to believe is that, but you want her to be alive also too. So it's so hard. Mm-hmm.
Yes. I want her to be alive and found. I feel like, that she was alive. I really do. I don't know what happened.
I'm too short for my chair. I'm too short for all my chairs. And I'm trying to make myself taller. And I missed the whole handle on my chair. So when I did that, go ahead, get your funny.
In the 3 hour from 3 o'clock to 6, whatever, but I don't think that Candace is truthful on it. I think that they may have been playing outside. The only way I can short story it is, do you care if I mention?
You can say whatever you want to talk about. You're more than welcome to say whatever you need to. You don't even need to ask. You're all good.
Okay. Michelle After Dark has a series, Truth in the Hills series. And
I'll share her out. Everybody knows who Michelle is, but you think very highly of Michelle.
That is the Truth in the Hills series. I was amazed that this lady is from another country and she was so dead on. So that's the short story in my theory. And I really believe that she has the same, thinking as I do too, like as far as the possibilities. I know she has put several theories out, but the Truth in the Hills series is really it was really good. And I mean, there's locals that's talked about it as well, but I just don't understand how that.
She also had a debacle with Yennefer, who was hanging out with Ziggy and being the host to everybody. Did you see? She said Yennefer's last name was Patriot, and that Yennefer's family was the tree cutters that were in Summer's area the day Summer went missing. That was in our text messages as well.
I've questioned myself. Did Candace and Dawn know my monster? Did they know him? He was that close. And then when certain individuals came out on YouTube that I knew was associated, that made me even more weary. So I was like questioning that.
So when you say close, how close is he? If you were, let's say, riding on a horse or walking?
I would say riding on a horse, he could be at his house in at least 7 to 8 minutes just walking. And I know what kind of horse he has that does the trail. So there's a lot of families that ride horses in Beach Creek. And like I told you, I'm related. I'm related to this monster of mine on both sides of my family. And so, and nobody wants to talk, and everybody does just want it to stop. Everybody wants, Dawn and Candace to come out with the answers. Somebody, for something to break. We all do. And it's just frustrating. And the games that they've played, the people that they let represent them in the manner that they do. I mean, I'm sure that they could go out and get a professional lawyer or representative for them to make themselves. I don't think that whoever they have is doing their job.
I would agree We Can Bring You Hope was not doing their job. I would also agree with TT. That's what I'm saying. I don't disagree with a lot of things TT says. I think she's insightful, and I think she's more believable than Squall. However, her stories make more sense to me, but I don't understand the games. In my opinion, TT might be the type of person that would want to save a child by hiding them. Just a theory, speculation I have. Kind of like the QAnon variety. Speaking of which, I want to, before we get off of here, I'm going to take a break in a little bit when I'm on an hour, 20 minutes or so, and we're going to go over a few things on my community posts concerning a family member I spoke to today. I have some exciting news to tell you that I'm going to try. I don't know if it's set in stone. I doubt it, but I'm going to try to make it set in stone, where I have a conversation with this religious lady who saves drug trafficker or human traffic people in strip clubs. My cousin is a part of the 501c3 and donates to it with his testosterone clinics down in Florida. But we'll go over that in a little bit. I'm going to kind of watch the lady with you guys, a short video. All right. I'm hoping that I'll be able to reach out to her.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that in itself makes them look guilty. I started tilting my head with them, and my opinion of them did change. You can't deny videos or recordings of them, especially if Summer's in the background crying. I mean, you realize right then that things were going on in that house that shouldn't have been going on in front of those kids. And they were right there, and I don't know why CPS wasn't called then. Like, what did the 911 dispatcher not call CPS hearing her in the background? That made me mad. I just question everything.
I agree with you. So hold on, let me. Several people have asked, and I want to interrupt you, but several people have asked what you think happened to Summer. So I don't want to interrupt her when she's talking, but I don't mind asking.
Like I said, there's two things that I have feared. There's one thing that I've feared up until a couple of months ago. And then, like I said, Candace changed my mind about, how she perceived her. Like, I tried to be sympathetic, but then.
Something else I'm going to start doing soon is this lady right here. Her name is Tony Uhouse. I sent her some messages today. I couldn't get in touch with her for quite some time. She has 1 million profiles, but you'll see why I'm going to cover this. Are you trying to get a hold of me? Yes. Is Justin in jail? Where's Sarah? I want updated. Nobody will give me information about my sister and her boyfriend. Yes, and I'm not sure. So I guess Justin's in jail. She doesn't know where my sister Sarah is. Kids are doing well. I wrote, no, they ain't. Jess has them. Yes, not sure about where Sarah is and Eric Herman. The kidnapped kid from Cali. Here's where I'm going to stop this. He's not kidnapped by the man who put his peen inside my niece. Her father was a kidnapped child out of California named Eric Herman. The woman who got custody of my children sent me proof of that with images of his parents, his mother. I'm going to be reaching out and we're going to cover it fucking deeply because I want answers. I want to know who showed my sister the dark web website that might connect to these people TT's talking about.
It's just like I woke up, I don't know, her reactions and behavior on YouTube and the Dr. Phil show, the behavior panel. The fear, whenever they said Cornbread Mafia, the fear that was on her face, and I hadn't even heard of Cornbread Mafia, but I knew what they were implying. And in my heart,
face, she couldn't control it. Like her face completely shifted.
Yes.
And it was uncontrollable. The muscles on her face were like shot.
Yes, she knew. And I mean, just like I did, I mean, like in her reaction, my face probably looked the exact same way because in that moment I thought, you know.
Right.
And I don't know if she planned it or had anything to do with it, but I feel in my heart that they suspect what I think. I may be wrong on the person because, like I said, look how many RSOs there are living in that area that have criminal aggravated child movies that are sickening. There's more than just one. There's many right there. And they all, I mean, not all of them, I don't guess, but many ride horses and they drink, and it's just the truth. That's what they do. And there's probably two different sides. You know, you've got these boys and those boys. And the way that I differentiate it is these boys are like the bottom feeders. And then you got those boys that are the ones that you wouldn't ever suspect that was in a child trafficking ring or anything like that. Like stuff like that is completely, you know, they don't broadcast it. I started doing research when Summer she went missing, and I researched all the missing kids and how it was. I mean, there's a lot. And just, you know, another thing that Sheriff Lawson contradicted, and I don't want to say lied about, but it was the Carly Trent. I mean, there is kids that went missing, but that aggravated me that he said that there wasn't kids, that kids didn't go missing around here, because they do. I mean, and a lot of adults go missing, and it's mainly tied in with the drugs of the area.
Hey, Crime Lines and Lies. So, Tennessee Truth, do you want to talk about the horse, the one at the press conference? Someone just brought it up in the chat, and I did want you to talk about it because you had talked about that with me. And that's why I did put the horse on my thumbnail for you, because I know that it symbolizes quite a bit. Do you want to talk about the horse?
Well, I mean, you got to admit that the horse, I mean, that don't happen every day.
That was, yeah.
But whenever the news reporter Jeff Bobo called up with the people, and they had got the horse and everything, you know, they are locals, and like I said, everybody knows everybody, and most people, they come off being a good old boy, you know. But the horse, there was rumor of the horse being one of the RSO people that's in the area. So there was talk of that on Facebook, and there was rumors that he had posted on Facebook that his horse made the news, or it was just something he quoted really weird. And I never got this. I mean, it was something somebody told me, so I didn't see it, but it was the black horse, and he was saying that it sold the show for the news and stuff. He was bragging about that. And then I heard rumor on Facebook, or saw it, that some families, not just one RSO, but another, so there's two different families of, you know, somebody that's near, they searched their own property at, you know, the first time. They didn't allow, I don't know, you know, Ronnie Lawson said, search your properties, your sheds, your outbuildings, blah, 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 but that bothered me that they were on horseback, and they were on Facebook bragging that they were on horseback searching for Summer.
That does look like David Bays. However, the horse in the news broadcast that was loose was brown. And it was bigger than that horse. But odd, she's calling him an RSO, but he's not registered as such.
It doesn't bother me. I'm glad that that, like I said, not everybody that was searching. I'm sure that there's a good families, but they do have some bad people in them.
So do you want to repeat that one more time for those that didn't hear that it was said that this specific person may have been searching for Summer on horseback?
Yes, there was rumors and on Facebook that he had posted, and I'm like, I didn't think he was allowed to be on the internet if he was, because, and I mean, I think one of the other local channels covered something the other night about one. There's several in the area, registered sex offenders, and if you look at their charges, it's not it's aggravated. They've like either bought or sold child videos.
Right. So there's some history of child pornography.
And not only child pornography, but there's also history of like local.
According to Fred and others, the horse also came from Knox Pope Road, going down the Lone Star towards Jody Sue's house on Marvin Simpson's property. Yet this is David Bays with the horse. They said it was David Bays' horse. Then there was another horse that David Bays unalived that Laura spoke about. So David Bays is really, really big into the horses. You'll hear TT tell all this, but TT also tells us, I don't know if it's in this interview, that she was searching for Summer on horseback as well. She's part of this family, the Light family.
Women even, like,
this is her with one of the early day doxings.
In their 20s or something too, that were on hard jobs out there, like victims of, or no, they're survivors. I'm not the only one of my monster, and I'm sure that I'm not the only, like, there's with other RSOs as well. It's like a disease. I don't think they ever need to be let out of jail. I think they need to be put to sleep.
I 100% agree with you. I don't think that they should be released back into society. They're exactly what you said. They're monsters. But I mean, that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day, because I don't think that many of them ever really get the punishment that they deserve. So that's that. But it's very concerning to me, the close proximity and, the rumors that he possibly could have been on horseback searching for her. You've been, sitting here for 7 months with this eating away at you, not saying anything and trying to piece things together in your own way and keep an open mind. You've gone back and forth with what could happen, what may have happened. But either way, I think Tennessee Truth is doing this not for herself, but only for Summer. So this is kind of like, a lot of people have come forward with some stories, but they're not all about the same person. You know what I mean? And I think it needs to be taken into consideration.
I do have a question for you, TT. Did you know CSI prior? Because CSI knew Jackhammer Jamie prior, in my opinion, based on content she has since deleted, and I lost my Dropbox, so I no longer have it. However, CSI and you kind of look a little alike, and CSI sleeping comfortably in people's driveways. She's also stating she knows Squall prior. It's a concern.
What is going on here at Beach Creek?
A lot of evil, a lot. And even, my family, that's good. We want them out. We want it cleaned out. Come in with the raid and get them all and take them out. Just clean the mountain out. I mean, there's good people, kind people. But,
right.
I mean, I just hope, and I know TBI has more than they are releasing. And I pray every day that she is found alive. I do. I don't want to accept and lose hope that she's not. I just can't in my heart fathom anybody hurting a child, but it does happen. I mean, monsters are real, and I know and have experienced the monsters in that area. And, he was just a teenager whenever so I was 6 and he was like 16 or 17. And I had to go to the hospital, and one of my aunts and my grandmother took me, and they told me not to say what happened, not to just let them talk. And so, but there's records somewhere. But I mean, I remember that.
TT, that's awful. I feel for you, especially if it's true. However, the story you told me was 4 boys, which means it wouldn't have just been Frank Light. You also told me about your photos, undressed baby photos being on a police station's desk in Johnson City, Washington County. So did the 17-year-old take photos of you, or is that a different instance? If this is going to help find Summer, you need to come out and be honest. However, I don't think you're honest just based on the breaking into my email and my bank account shit. And you were really pushing to me that everybody thought you were crazy, but that's not true. You actually had a pretty good following when Tiffany showcased you.
That's something I'll never, I thought I did. Like, I did forget about it, and Summer going missing just woke me, like, triggered this experience up, knowing that he is so close, and that could have very possibly been him, or possibly another that lives by, or another, because there's, like, I don't know, at least 7 right there really close. And I believe there's no way that Candace and Dawn didn't know him. There's no way.
I think there's a
But
really
other-
good possibility that they probably know who each other are.
They I felt sorry for them at first, because I thought, they didn't know. But the more that I see, I figure out. And then I told you that I know that there's acquaintances with the people, because what I started doing was going back before Summer went missing and trying to see the spiral of what happened, because in earlier pictures you see them and they look well put together. And I think that was before Dawn left for Utah. So I don't know what happened that made him leave to go to Utah. But from judging by the pictures to date, and then to now, or when Summer went missing, it seemed to me that it was like they were spiraling. Like, you even saw it in the kids' pictures, their faces, their hair, even Candace's appearance changed. And Dawn wasn't there. She was in Utah. And so she was there with Allie and all that crew. And so I know that it's been told to me that Allie knows my monster. So to me, that says Candace had to know him as well.
Allie Hunter's mom.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and I've always been just suspicious of everyone, and I've always felt that there was so much more than just one person involved in this. Like, it goes deeper. Like, I don't think that this was an accident at all. I really don't. I think I could be wrong. I don't want my fear to come true. And the things that haunt me every day, I find out something new, or just wondering, or fearing that that's what's really happened with her. But I think by now he wouldn't, like, I have so much respect for Donna. And she said something about Summer being moved. And I want to believe that she was being moved alive. And I want to believe that she was taken somewhere really nice and pretty, and she's being well taken care of, and nothing bad's being happening to her. But, that's what I want to believe. But if my monster took her, I don't think that he had her when they came in for the second search, or that he has her now, if that theory is true. It's been too long, and that would be ignorant. They didn't search houses that I know of.
Inside houses, you mean?
Yeah. And like the properties that said that they would search themselves.
Mm-hmm. Right. Giving it up to the homeowners to search their own property. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And considering the crimes of, at least I've saw 4 in the area that are registered sex offenders, that have criminal charges for the things that Reverend Donna was speaking about. Things like that. And I never believed in psychics or anything. I don't consider her a psychic. I consider her Reverend Donna. She's a very spiritual person that I have a lot of respect for. And she has helped me so much. And, I've spoken with her, and there was a while back in the beginning, she wanted me to come on for an interview, and I was so scared then. Mm-hmm. But I've talked to you so much over the phone.
Hi, Reverend Donna. Hey, Zig. Hey, Ryan. You guys seen a pattern yet? You gotta be shitting me. TT came from Reverend Donna Serafina.
And things. And you've always been there for Summer. I know that, you tell it like it is. If you make a mistake, you own it. You always expose the lies and the truth. And I love that.
Oh, I am always here for Summer, always here for the truth. And yes, I have to expose some things sometimes. But this kind of stuff is especially hard. And this is the second time, when we had Trish came and spoke out for her mom, Jeannie, who was assaulted by Dawn when she was younger. So now we've got, you're speaking about someone who lives very close to the wells, and these types of things are difficult, but somebody needs to talk about it. So thank you I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for trusting me with, speaking out. It means a lot to me. Tennessee Truth, I will always take care of you. Woman of Steel has a question. Woman of Steel, thank you very much. What do you think of the idea that Summer was used to pay a drug debt? Have you ever heard of that happening before?
I think that that's possible. That has crossed my mind. Either it was a debt or for money or drug, and or drugs. I don't know. I haven't, and I think I've talked to you about this. I've always been more sympathetic towards Don. Thinking he was at work, maybe he didn't know, but then again, maybe he does. Who knows? I'm over it.
I don't think you mentioned Serafina to me one motherfucking time, TT. Wow. More. They come out of the woodwork. Serafina, where are you? What case are you covering? Holy hell, do you ever following? Summer's whole damn community.
At this point, I think that both of them suspect and have it narrowed down to something more than what they're saying. Just like me not being able to say, certain things or names or stuff because we don't want to hurt the investigation. But I don't know them. I've never heard of them until Summer. But I do know the people in the area, and I'm from the area, and I don't live there now, but I live close enough, in another county.
But you're far away enough where you're safe, right? And you have a lot of support around you, which is really important. Like, those are the types of things that I care about. Like, do you have someone to talk to when this is over? You know what I mean? Because you could come up here and talk about this, and it could open up so many wounds for you. And I just want to make sure, like, you're okay. There's certain things I might have been against, letting you come up and speak, but I really, really think you're so brave to come forward. I have heard a lot of stories, but no one ever wants to talk about them. And really, I hope that you're proud of yourself for, breaking your silence on YouTube about other dangers that could be lurking around 110 Ben Hill Road, other than, the
All right, break time. I'm going to go to my community post, but before that, I want to show you a couple things I made. If anybody's interested, let me know. This is a little fall ornament. It says, "It takes a big heart to teach little minds." I don't know how good you could see that. Hold on. My sort of little commercial for my crafting. You can't really see it. But it has, I painted little pumpkins on there and put the leaf beads and some ribbon. It's an ornament that hangs. And then I have a tear tray ornament. Each of these are $8 each. It's just a little pumpkin with a little heart charm on it. And I have a few other things I'm going to show you guys because I really am. I'm starting a job. We're getting our shit back on track here, but I am trying to make some money out here. Not based on Summer, but based on my hard work. I don't need to launder, and I'm not asking for millions of dollars. I'm asking if anybody is interested in an $8 ornament. Let me know. It'll also be shipping. However, these are little. I don't think it should cost more than $4 to ship. So $12 total if you're interested. I have some other ones I'm working on that I'm not finished with. But there's a little skull. Halloween's almost over. I didn't get them finished and shown before. I apologize. Maybe for next Halloween. I'll be showing my Christmas stuff soon too. This is a hanging ornament, and it's a skull with hearts, and I make cards too. I'll show them a little later. If anybody's interested, I'll give you my email and transactions through Cash App. Okay. Now let's go to my community posts. We're going to take a little Tiffany break here. I have it on 2-speed. We're hearing it fine. Some of the things I want to show you is, this is what I wrote. I have a real life connection to the woman in the TED Talks video I just shared. I found out my cousin Alan Jenkins helps this nonprofit down in Tampa. I'm going to be reaching out, hoping for some really good info or interview with people from this nonprofit. Human trafficking needs to end. Clock it. My cousin is ex-Air Force and served tours to places like Kuwait and Haiti. He's done 4 tours, I think he told me. Iraq, Iran. He's a conservative. He also runs a few men's clinics out of Tampa with testosterone plate replacement therapies. I just had a convo with my cousin. I learned a lot in just a few minutes. Always nice to reconnect with people after decades. I seriously only talked to this man once in like 3 decades.
Nobody sees me, she said. Nobody. These are the words that I have heard repeatedly in my 40-plus years of serving in the anti-human trafficking arena. It was over 4 decades ago when I first heard these words quietly murmured through painful sobs and tears. She felt invisible. Her words that day were a gut punch as I related my own experience of feeling invisible growing up as a middle child. Now, please don't misunderstand. As for me, Dottie Groover Skipper, growing up, Groover was extraordinary. My parents were wonderful. In fact, my dad, a man of impeccable character and integrity, is and always will be my hero. And I adore my 4 siblings and embrace being the middle of 5 Groover children. For as a middle child, one learns how to be a savvy negotiator, a peacekeeper, and a risk taker. My sister Nancy still refers to me as the cliff jumper. But as a child, at times, I felt unseen. I remember in a dance recital one year, I was cast as the big bad wolf in Peter and the Wolf. And the costume included this huge wolf's head covering that completely concealed who I was. And as a 4th grader, struggling with feelings of feeling unseen, I used my savvy middle child negotiating skills to convince my dance instructor, Miss Ann, and my sweet mom to please not make me wear that wolf's head. And they listened. And I danced my heart out that night with no head covering, feeling heard, seen, and empowered. It was a pivotal moment for me, a moment that taught me how to speak up for myself and how to speak out for others. So in some big way, 40-plus years ago, it resonated with the middle child me when that 13-year-old cried, "Nobody sees me." She felt invisible, even in the self-esteem class I was teaching. She perked up, however, when I told her that she could bring her 4-year-old sister with her to the next class. But when I met her little sister, I did not feel joy. I felt an immense uneasiness in my spirit. So much so that I asked the organization who had hired me to please find out the background on these little girls. And what they discovered still haunts me today and continues to drive my work. These precious little girls were sex trafficking victims, living with their perpetrator, their pimp, their trafficker, who happened to be their grandmother. A grandmother who was selling them for sex in exchange for drugs most every night. And to make it even more horrific, the 4-year-old had a sexually transmitted disease. Familial trafficking is very prevalent, even in the United States. There are many forms of human trafficking. The way most victims are lured into a human trafficking situation is through a family member, a trusted family friend, or someone of perceived power, in addition to predators who use social media apps and platforms as avenues to groom and to exploit. Grooming is a pattern of manipulative behaviors that predators use to gain access, trust, and control over the most vulnerable. My simple definition of human trafficking is the business of the exploitation of vulnerabilities for another person's gain. And there are many forms of human trafficking, and I'm only briefly touching on sex trafficking. It's all so very egregious and all so very real. And every single one of us has a part to play to help bring resolve to this insidious crime. But first, we must see the problem. As a society, we have been conditioned to overlook those in need. Their invisibility affords us comfort. If we don't see them, we don't have to do anything. But my hero dad taught me that everybody matters and is worthy to be seen and heard. In these many years, in these trenches, I have mainly worked with victims and survivors of sex trafficking who've been groomed, forced, frauded, or coerced into a trafficking situation. And in these years, it has been my absolute honor to minister to women working in the strip clubs. These women are forgotten, unseen, misunderstood women, many who are under a trafficker's control. As our team enters the strip club dressing rooms, bringing gifts and shining the light of hope, we go in with no agenda except to let these beautiful...
So the reason I had this conversation, hold on, refreshing. Somebody's saying something happened, so I refreshed. What happened? Let me go back and share. It seems my live is still up. We're at the part in this where the reason I want to reach out to this lady is because I experienced some similar stuff with my one sister, Shannon, who started her addiction in a strip club. So my cousin and I were having a conversation surrounding my family and the things I've been covering on YouTube, and he confirmed a lot of weird shit in my family over the years and things with my dad with me. It was interesting to speak to him and not know who he is 3 decades after I've seen him last. I was like 18, maybe even younger, because it was his graduation party and he's older than me. He's married, moved to Florida. I thought he opened pain clinics, but they're testosterone clinics, but he's really religious. Like I said, he's been in the Air Force. To me, he's trustworthy. However, my brother killed his stepbrother. So I don't know. And I have a lot of funny shit going on in my family, and he knows how I feel because I told him, especially with the connections to my family in Tennessee, just a lot of weird shit. He agreed with me that things could be possible. And then he told me what he does. And even though he has a testosterone clinic, he's really into the human trafficking and working with this organization. Let me see if I shared it on my channel. I don't know much about the organization, however, it's called the Heart Dance Foundation, and he collects money for them. And I don't know if he's on our board of directors or what it is, but this is what this lady runs. It's the Heart Dance Foundation is a registered 501c3 that passionately assists men, women, and children to reclaim dignity and value and worth by shining the love of Christ in the darkest of places in our city. We are dedicated to helping those recovering from the sex trade industry, labor exploitation, addiction, incarceration, and other traumatic life experiences. You can see it's a mixed crowd of race. You know, we cover a lot of religious stuff on Summer's channel. Do I know that this 501c3 is on the up and up? No, but from everything I'm seeing and the honesty in my cousin's voice, they seem like a really good foundation that maybe somebody can donate to, volunteer, read their stories, call the human trafficking line. I'm hoping my connection to these people might get me some interviews or something where we could talk about this. Because like I said, things like this have affected my own life, not in Florida, but being she's in Grady Judd's area, and I'm hearing that she has been involved with Grady Judd in his work, it might be worth a conversation with her. I don't know. All right. But you guys get the point. Let me share. I don't know if I did or didn't. Let me share the TED Talks again with her. And then we're going to go back to Tennessee Truth. I just wanted to get that out and talk about it. I also have some McKeesport stuff where Fustos' cousin was employed that I'm going to be going over in my next live when I do my little commercial breaks. That's what I'm considering these now, where I show my stuff and music and whatever I'm interested in that day. But I think that, you know, to listen to that woman is eye-opening, especially when you hear about the 4-year-old that she experienced. Okay, back to Tiffany Marie and TT. Thank you guys for all staying during the break.
I'm sorry.
You're good.
Sorry. Just that Allie, I'm suspicious of that. Like I said, I went back before Summer went missing and saw the spiral of Dawn being in Utah and what took place in the house.
Mhm.
And then when he come back and the police being called and all that, like I think that they have just spiraled and they just keep on going out of control. And nobody can control them and nobody can help them if they don't want to help themselves. And they clearly do not want to help themselves because they will not stop drinking and they will not stay off of YouTube and they're not doing anything to find their daughter or to get their boys back that I see. Sorry.
Don't apologize for listening. Chasing Justice, I see you on my phone and I want to highlight, but I'm a little bit behind on my StreamYard. Chasing Justice just put something for you. A lot of people are writing to you in the chat, Tennessee Truth. So when this is over, I hope you do go back and read the chat because you're getting so much love. Really. Let's see. Jules,
I'm scared I'll get hate too.
putting your story out keeps you safe. They do not want to attract attention by going after you after you've told the truth. You're very courageous. Thank you, Jules.
Yeah, I'm safe. I know how to use a gun and I know how to ride a horse too. And I can run around the mountain in the dark like Jody Sue. I'm just saying. I'm not in the KKK. I'm actually a woman. Like I look mixed, so I'm not white.
You're adorable. I've seen her. She's absolutely adorable.
I've got a lot of Cherokee Indian in me. Yeah, I was really nervous. I'm still nervous.
Do you feel a little bit better
Mm.
after speaking? Are you still as nervous as you were when you came up? Because I don't want you to be nervous.
I mean, I'm just nervous at what's going to happen next. You know, like the backlash, I guess, the hate, the locals and the ones that are still Will supporters attacking me and things. And I don't want to accuse them of nothing. I really don't. I don't mean to when I do, because I can't be that way. I don't want to be wrong and them be innocent and me doing that. But I just, it's almost been 8 months, like 8, you know.
8 very long months. Yeah.
Yes, and we're frustrated. We're tired. We've been here since the beginning, and we're so tired. And they're not. What are they doing? And what they are doing is really upsetting, and it's causing people to give up and lose hope. And you know, nobody's came out with anything. So creators are tearing each other apart. Everything just became a mess. And just when you think it can't get no worse, it does. It's like something else, you know, with the drama or with somebody scamming or just the hate. The hate
I
is
think
so.
that happens with all communities. When it comes to a certain point, things get very stagnant, and what you're left with is just a community of people who attack each other. You know what I mean? So you got to kind of stay above it or ride below it, however you choose to get through it. But there is a lot of craziness. But at the surface, Summer is very much the focus. You know, and I think that a lot of the people who are making problems will fall away slowly. You know what I mean? The true ones are always going to be there.
Right. And I do. I have a great family. My husband, my children, grandchildren, all that. And I live in a holler too, on a dead end road. So my husband, you know, you and I talked and him, and we all came to agreement. And he has told me that he supports me 100%. And my kids told me they supported me. You know, whatever it takes to bring truth, bring some light to, you know, the situation, the area, and because that area is different than any area you'll ever hear about in the United States, probably.
What sets it apart? Do you think? Like, what is your what do you think makes it so different from anywhere else?
The people that will shoot you, just like, I don't even know how to explain it. I tried to think of that movie I told you about the Hills Have Eyes or something.
Hills Have Eyes, yeah.
And then
We hear a lot about that when it comes to the area of Ben Hill. You know, in my opinion, I believe that it was a scary place to live. However, why do so many locals come on and try to refrain and make their area far worse than it is? I think it's beautiful. That's not going to make people believe the people in that area or that anybody is good there. And I have a hard time believing every single human in that area is an awful, awful person. That really doesn't look good. Now, I'm not saying, to me, it's like they're all deferring people from coming to Beach Creek to visit. And I get that, but why so dead set and why so many locals?
but like not literally like eating. I don't even know. They are very different. They're their own culture. We are our own culture, but there is a lot of drugs that are traveling through Hawkins County, Washington County, Sullivan County, you know, Bristol, Virginia. I mean, I don't know where else it's going and whatever, but and everybody around knows that Beach Creek has its own culture. Like they have a lot of people. Like for instance, Ziggy, I love her to death, but God, I cannot believe that she had the nerve to go up there like alone without cell phone signal, dead phone, has her daughter. Like I was mind blown that she even had the courage to do that because I won't. And especially at dark, I saw that she was there at dark too, and I was like, oh my God, like she has no idea the danger and the evil that exists, like and how much danger she put herself in, and her daughter. Like I'm getting started on that.
Well, I think a lot of people feel that way, but yeah, that makes sense. So much respect for your Tennessee Truth. Everybody here is very receptive to everything that you're talking about. And Valerie, Tiffany and Tennessee Truth, thank you for speaking up for Summer. This is an important combo. Yes, thank you, Valerie. I agree. It is an important conversation to have. And I don't mind and you don't mind either. Like if Michelle wanted to talk about whatever you were, came up here to talk about, or any other creator for that matter, as long as you're not hurting her, I don't mind. If it helps Summer, then talk about it. Thank you, Valerie. Tennessee Truth is hella strong. I've said that I think she's a lot stronger than she gives herself credit for.
It's definitely took a hold of me from Summer going missing. It's like my life hasn't. I mean, it stopped, and like I'm, just wanting to do everything that I can to help find her, putting up flyers, doing what I can do. I don't want to go to Beach Creek or anything like that.
You have events there. Like you won't go through there, right?
No.
You tend to stay out of Beach Creek.
Yes, there's no way. I've the closest to Beach Creek that I probably came since I moved away is just traveling through because I did go to the prayer vigil for summer that the churches had, and so I traveled that highway through there, and it was very triggering just because I don't go in that area at all for anything. I don't, like I said, I don't live in the county, but I live close, but I don't live in the county. If that makes sense.
Not too close.
Right, not too close. I have good service, and I'm not in. We have cable and running water. Like regular things that that. Because I don't think that Beach Creek got internet until right before Summer went missing. Actually, and even still, like that area is so bad. And that was one of the things that they had trouble with in searching for her that night and throughout the search was the radio signal and not being able to communicate. I mean, it's in hollers, mountains. There's no service anywhere. I think they actually brought out towers, cell phone towers, to give them more service to be able to do better.
Yeah, they did. They brought out boosters. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not a place that you want to drive through, and because there's no service, and you don't want your car to break down, and or anything. I mean, and there's it's a one, most roads. There's all kinds of roads that you can go on, back roads to stay off of the main highways, and they're like one lane roads. So like the one that Don was on when he was arrested this last time with his DUI or DWI or whatever it was. He was on a back road, a really private like back road that you just don't know how to like. I don't know if every state has little back roads like us.
Yeah, I would imagine that every state has back roads like that. I forget the name. Do you remember the name of that road that
It
you got
was,
pulled over on? Someone in the chat will remember.
Yeah, Van Hill Road. It was Van Hill Road. V as in violin, A and N as in Nancy. And I never, did you ever find out if those two things was the same time?
No, I don't believe so. I don't believe they were the same time. I think no, by a couple weeks.
Okay, that's good.
So
Yeah,
no, I
but
don't think
there's all kinds.
Do you want to talk about Chase?
Okay.
We can if you want to.
Yeah,
And
you
help us
probably
way back to
listened.
the holler chat. There's a map that AB had, and it showed just how far back all the roads really go, and all the hollers, and how far and deep they go.
Mhm.
It was really quite something to look at.
Yeah, I watched that, and I got the app that he shared. It was Hunting app, so it showed all the trails like a lot clearer, a lot
Yeah, it
better.
was a hunting app.
Yeah.
Was it Van Hill Road?
Yes,
I think it was Van Hill Road. Or no, it wasn't Van Hill Road, was it?
I think so. That's what I thought. It was Van Hill
was.
Road.
Okay.
Okay, so whenever I discovered YouTube with channels, the way that I discovered it was that somebody had shared one of your shows, and so that's how I found that there was like channels and stuff. And then I would punch in Summer's name into YouTube and would find all the people that was covering her. So I saw 423 Chase and watched his videos. Kind of creeped me out a little bit because the way that he was talking. I know that everybody just fell in love with his good old boy country accent, but like the words that he would say, threatening Dawn and stuff, like it was weird. And then he said, the remark, the heels have eyes. And then Dawn made the remark on the behavior panel of someone saying that. So, but now I don't even know. They may have knew each other before. I feel like that they knew each other before Summer went missing, possibly.
So I think there might be a connection with Brad Wishin and Don Wiles from beforehand. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah,
but
I don't know either, but I suspect it.
Okay.
In my opinion, allegedly, how do I say it? But I had reached out. He had done a video of having flowers or wanting to know, it was about flowers. And he said that he had a palette of flowers and he was going to reach out to him on email. So I emailed him and
That's right.
Huh?
I remember that.
So I emailed him and I was emailed right away and it was weird. But anyway, it was weird because they emailed me right back and it didn't seem like a man emailing, especially a man that wasn't tech savvy like he stated he was. But it was, if you want to reach out to Chase, call him on his cell phone. So, and this was end of September, 1st of October. So I reached out, I called, and I asked him about the flyers and everything, and told him I'd like to have some to hand out. So we agreed to meet that following Sunday at 3 o'clock. And then a couple days after, he called me out of the blue, and it was kind of like it was around 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and he was just like talking about Summer, the case, and how much time he'd been putting into it, just kind of like going on about how much he was doing and everything. And he mentioned meeting me Sunday, and I was like, yeah. I said, that's when I asked him how old he was, and he told me that he was 58. And I wrote it down because I was immediately suspicious of him, like calling me out of the blue like that. Because yeah, and he's not.
Wow.
But anyway, so that just, he told me he was 58. And I asked him if he was married, and he said he was divorced. And I said, well, I'm married, and I'm not going to meet you by myself, so I will have somebody with me, because I just don't go meet, people I don't know alone. And so it was just a weird phone call. And so on Sunday, he texted me about, it was right at 3 o'clock, and told me that he wasn't going to be able to make it. And then he called. And he was like, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it. I'm going to send a couple to meet you. They're a really nice couple, and they'll give you some flyers. I'll give you a little bit. I was supposed to get 500 from him, but I only got like 50, I think.
But,
But,
he was 500 flyers and he gave you 50. And
yeah.
he sent other people to meet you, right? It wasn't him.
Right. It wasn't him that came to meet me, but he told me the reason why he wasn't going to be able to come is because he was interviewing David Dotson. And I was like, okay, well, be careful, I'm like, okay. And that never came about.
Can you
I don't know.
describe the people that came to meet you? Like, you don't have to describe them, like hair, eye color, and stuff. Like, what did you think when you saw them?
Well, I carry in my glove box, like I carry a gun in my glove box, and I don't openly carry, nor so we're setting up the dollar store at an exit that we was planning to meet at, and me and my husband, and a really big jacked up truck, really nice, pulls up really loud, and it has this older woman and man, and the man gets out first, and he comes around the front of the truck and goes to my husband's side, and he I noticed right away he had like military style pants on, like tack pants, like and he was carrying, he had a gun on his side. I mean, he looked like he was a police officer or something, other than having a do-rag on. So I was like, okay, like I don't know, it just scared me, because I don't normally see people out just openly carrying like that. Like, it's just weird. I mean, I hope that, but that just made me feel weird. And I was really into conversation with the man because we had discovered that me and him was following the case, but my husband don't and hasn't followed the case other than what I told him and stuff. And so his wife or lady friend that he had didn't either. So they were having a conversation, and I was having a conversation with the man that was carrying the gun. And I think he was accused of disguising himself to be an FBI agent, or he was accused by somebody that we can't believe nothing she says anyway. So but he did look intimidating. So if it's true that he was following her, I can see why Jody Sue would have been scared, because he does look very intimidating and mean. I mean, he does. I don't have any hard feelings. Like, I'm not trying to judge him and be mean, because he didn't say or do anything to make me think that he has Summer or anything like that. But at the same time, I know, like, okay, well, he's in with Chase and he's in with Cam and Allie. I knew that, like, because he talked about that, and he talked about the tree trimmers, and that was his theory. And I asked him about the neighbors or anything like that, and every time that I asked him, he would direct and say, no, I think the tree trimmers has something to do with it. And I'm like, you don't think there's a possibility that one of those neighbors up there that are convicted felons had anything to do with getting Summer? And he was like, no. And I was like, and you're not from around here. Like, you're not family. Like, I didn't believe him after that. Like, for him not to suspect that, I mean, it's obvious. Why would you just insist that couldn't be a possibility if you're thinking the tree trimmers had something to do with it? It makes more sense to me that the criminals in the area, that, especially the registered sex offenders that have crimes against children, they should have been, I hope, thoroughly investigated. But my fear is that they weren't.
High hopes. This is such an asshole thing to say, for real. Do we listen to this? Do we even know if Summer is a real person at this point? Yes, we do. Summer is a real person with a real birth certificate, with a real mom, with a real dad, with real brothers. Summer is definitely very real. It's not a role play or live action. And if you're not trying to be disrespectful, why not come in here under your own name? No, your comment is rude, and Summer is very real.
What's a LARP?
There's a group of people that believe that this is a hoax. It's just strange stuff. We don't do that. Sorry, what?
I don't know what it stands for. I have to ask my kids all the time what the initial stuff stands for.
It's basically like a game. It's a hoax, like a game. Actors, and it's just ridiculous.
Oh.
I think that because, and this is what happens, you do get, and I'm not trying to be rude, but you do get crazies who will come out of the woodwork. If they don't have the answers that they want or need, they're going to question whether Summer is a real human being. Makes no sense. Summer's brought out a lot of real feelings. Yeah, Summer's brought out a lot of dark things have come to light through Summer's disappearance. It's a very strong, powerful energy for a little girl.
That has. I mean, I hope that. I mean, I know that I'm not the only big survivor. I'm not the only survivor of the registered sex offenders in Beach Creek, and more, I hope, will come out. I hope, come out and tell their story too. You don't have to say names.
How many? I'm looking at his profile here on the sex offender registry. How many victims do you believe that he has, or have you heard of?
I've been told that besides me, there's 8 more that hasn't came out. Like, they've called TBI, but they haven't come public. There's 1, maybe 2 that has, but we can't share. Like, we can't come out and say names. We can't do anything to jeopardize the case of the investigation to find Summer. But because, I mean, everything is on the table, just like they said. We don't know. I pray every day that we get the answers.
And he's against children.
Yes, and not.
Are you still there, Tennessee? She might have gotten a phone call. The classification for this guy really is offender against children. And he's still walking the streets, yep. Tennessee Truth is a brave survivor for sure. Jules says, from the first time I saw Wells' Hell House basement, I thought they were trafficking, but that is just a conspiracy idea. Right, Jules, and you don't ever put it out as fact. Hold on, let me get rid of this one. Oh, she popped out again. Hold on a sec. She'll be back. Gypsy, I believe Summer has a mission to bring this horrible SA to light wherever she is alive or dead. We will still give her credit for what is accomplished. Yes, always. Hey, Bridget, you were sleep nodding. All right, she's back. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Did you get
I must be having some boonie Wi-Fi issues. I usually have really good service.
You really, the kids don't have a voice, and it's just scary because here you have someone who lives within such a short distance of their home, has these charges against children, was released right before Summer went missing, and no one talks about it. So I do hope that other people will come forward. Not that they have to or they need to, but it would be really wonderful if, you don't always have to even use your name or anything like that.
Yeah, because there's more, and not just with one in particular one. I mean, like I said, there's more there's more than one monster in the hollers, okay? But there are a lot of good people, and I'm sure that every one of them, if you asked them if they wanted that place cleaned out, they would say yes, the good ones. They would want all that mess cleaned out, all the drugs out of there, for the sake of their children and grandchildren, and, it's a mess. They've cleaned it up a couple years ago, but to my knowledge, I think that they all are released and out of jail now. The last big drug bust that they did in Hawkins County, all the ones that was arrested, I think it was like 150 different ones, they're all released now. Whenever COVID hit, a lot of prisoners and things got to, get out.
Yeah, there was a lot of police. Who's in charge of that town? Do they have the mayor? Well, Liz seems like Ronnie Lawson's just in charge of everything.
He pretty much is. He's a big dog.
Liz, she's like, I'm going to write to the Today Show. This is a problem nationwide. I mean, really, if you think about it, the amount of time that these types of offenders spend in prison is so minimal compared to the sentence that they leave their victims with.
Yes, I don't. That's what I want to know. How can we change that? Like, how can we go in and change the laws so the punishment of these registered sex offenders? Like, why are they only spending a couple years in jail for these malicious acts that they're doing, unspeakable acts to children at that? And why are they being like? I just want the laws to change.
Did you hear her talking about Chase? Now, you'll see in my messages, she was doing favors for Chase. So her whole story about Chase changes. That's where I have my problems with TT. Plus, when she, like me, pulling her family into it, we should all observe and look at all factors, right? Based on the things she's stating about her family, if there's a possibility, and Frank Light is part of her family, and the things she's saying, we should look at that. However, when you get into Chase and Jody and all that other stuff, and Yennefer and the tree cutters you heard her mention again, there's an issue. Weed Cookie.
Something positive, and make it more strict that they don't just get to go into Walmart or anywhere. I mean, they should. I don't know. I think
Dana just super chatted. Thank you, Dana. She said, Tennessee True, thank you so much for sharing your story. I'm so sorry you're stronger than the evil that did that. I admire your strength and bravery, Tiffany. Thank you for always bringing light and support to victims, survivors. You're welcome, Dana.
I want more to come out of the hollers.
You want more to talk about that, hon?
I want more to come out. I know that they're out there, and I hope that they're listening, or that they do get word, and that they hear this, and that they say, enough's enough, and this has to stop. Like, this has went on for generations, and like the survivors of being sexually assaulted by, because there are some horrific stories I've heard
about this one specific individual.
Yes.
She also has a cousin country singer who has ties to Ryan Upchurch, where she fed him and cut his hair and all kinds of stuff. Yeah. Ryan came out here with that reward fund. Troublesome to me.
Yes. And even now, like, it's just, I can't even fathom it. Monsters are real. And like I said, this has awakened in me. I haven't dealt with this. And Summer missing, this has opened up. And I just want to help bring out the truth of all the things that happen that shouldn't happen, that go either unnoticed or they get slapped on the wrist for. No matter if there's COVID or not.
I consider that a slap on the wrist for, what's been done. And that's just what is on paper legally, Hey, Lippy, behind catching up. Lippy's showing love for you. And you're very brave. Thank you for speaking up. Everybody here is. But we also, I feel like, too, so many people know who you are. You know what I mean? You're in a lot of...
Everybody knows everybody. Yeah. Even when people hear my voice, they're going to be like, I know who that is. And my name will be...
I really do.
I'm not scared. We've prepared for it. Like I don't know if you want to tell everybody the story. You can probably tell it better than me. But how, you told me, you didn't rush me. That was one thing I respected the most about you, is that I trusted you and told you things, and you've not said a word, and you've not pushed me in any way to come forth. I didn't want to distract Summer's case.
She does that. She says the same thing to all the creators. She was taking her time going to creator. My opinion, anyway. She's really close with Sage.
But the truth of where she lived needs to be heard.
I think it's
The people
important. I'm really
yes.
glad that you did speak about it, and I'm glad that you brought it forward because, you know, especially even for myself, I don't have someone asked what my opinion was earlier about Summer. My opinion is not that she was abducted. So it doesn't matter what I think, you know, it doesn't matter what my theory is or what I stick to, what I believe. What matters is that everything matters. So it's all
Well, I
right.
don't know. I've got the two different. I don't know the other word for that abducted. I believe that possible RSO had got her, and I didn't want to believe that Candace was involved or Grandis or Dawn. But their behavior through this 7.5 months, 8 months almost, I mean, is just, you sit back and you think, if you have children of your own, you think, this is not right. I don't care, you know, I'm not the perfect parent, no one is, they don't come with instructions, but there are some things that just ain't right here, and you can't defend someone and keep defending them to their defense when they keep on messing up and they don't want to help themselves. And that's where I said I'm done. I never met them, I never talked to them, but I would come in chats and try to defend them, you know, thinking and feel sorry for them, thinking they were out of staters that moved in to the middle of Beach Creek, because I had never heard of them. But as I learned that they had been here for years, I didn't even know. And then, you know, knowing that they had to know the neighbors. I mean, who lives in a place for 13 years and you don't know your neighbors? They knew their neighbors. They was even buying drugs off their neighbors. So if they were buying drugs off their neighbors, then drugs mixes in with, you know, I think it all, I don't even know.
Well, that it all might just intertwine, right?
Yes. Like, I don't want to think that they're responsible for something, because I couldn't imagine myself doing that with my own child. I just, you know, you don't want to think or believe that. But then whenever you think and watch her behavior, it's like, and I'm not talking about, you know, I'm talking about the little things that people probably a lot hasn't even noticed, is that second time that she said no on the behavior panel.
Mhm.
Whenever he asked her, do you know who took Summer?
Right. It was very low.
Yes. And then the way that she behaved, like her facial, even though nobody had ever heard of Cornbread Mafia until then, we all that are local, we knew who they were talking about. Like, even though we hadn't heard of, we knew that he was just, you know, using that as an example. But anyone local knows that there are these boys and those boys, like I said earlier. And they're all around in counties and they join together. I mean, everybody knows everybody from county to county. Sometimes they just hate it. They've all branched out. There's a couple of families in Beach Creek that have 5 to 6 generations still living.
Right.
So think about that. And I know for a fact that SA happened generation to generation to generation, because I'm related.
You have firsthand knowledge of what goes on there. And I think that's also so important because, you know, anybody could speak about anywhere in America, but, you know, Summer did go missing from Beach Creek. And you have, you know, and even when it comes to Jody Sue, I've always really tried to pay attention because nobody is speaking out from Beach Creek, right, publicly. So it's important, you know, whether you believe, whether somebody believes the story coming from someone who lives there or not, but it's still so valuable, you know. Can you please ask Tennessee Truth if those boys work together?
Oh, yeah. It depends on what the situation. That's how it connects. You've got, you know, like I said, you've got the bottom feeders. I mean, just think about the drug trade or any kind of thing like that. Even with the YouTube, you've got it moves on up, I've noticed. But these boys and those boys, yes, I think that they do work together because that's where the money is. And there is a lot of horse barns in our East Tennessee area. I'll say that. There are a lot of horse barns and stables. And the owners, I mean, you know, of those horses that are in those stables, I don't know if you just research horse shows and how much like they make, how much their horses are worth. You research the history, it goes all the way into Knoxville, big, huge horse farms. And they have these horses that are show horses that, and they take care of them. They board them, feed them, they train them. And those owners just pay for the board fee every month. And then if their horse wins the show, they get money, and it's good money. Well, drugs is entwined with that as well. I mean, I think that there's a connection in that trade.
Well, there very well may be.
And I mean, I know some people could relate with what I'm talking about with the horses and it being big money. You go and look at the horse breeds and their worths and things like that. And they trade and sell and they haul in trailers. And I mean, the people that own the big horse farms, they have, I don't know if you look up horse trailers, how nice they are. I mean, you could haul, like, I don't know, my mind just goes everywhere thinking about Summer. But I really think that, you know, there's something with the horse. It's always been a fear. So
you believe that there's a connection with the horse? Yeah, I shared out in the beginning. I put it in the description later. I can put in the part where the horse went running by when they were doing the presser. When I think wasn't it Ronnie Lawson was talking, right? And Tim Coop was standing there, and we're all standing there. And that horse went by. I was like, oh my God, that's crazy, right? And but it was so significant, and you have to wonder what it represents, right? And horses represent such amazing things, anyhow. So whatever it was, you want to think that it was positive, you know. But you really don't know. The universe is quite an amazing thing. But that's why I did. I put the horse on your thumbnail for the
Yeah,
live.
I've always rode horses too. I mean, my whole life. I know a lot about them. I love them. They're amazing creatures. And I've always feared, I thought who could be a familiar person that could have got somewhere without anyone knowing. And I thought, well, that's why I questioned if they would have known, that person. And then I thought, well, even if she wasn't familiar, what 5-year-old wouldn't want to go pet a horse? So she could easily be lured away.
So I went and put my jammies on. Sorry, I wanted to hurry up and comment on that. Fred states they were looking for a horse without shoes. In other interviews, TT states, even on my panel, that she was one of the searchers looking for Summer. We just heard her say that earlier. I think the horse theory is extremely important. How does TT get a horse from Greene County to Summer's community so fast? I think there's a lot to that, especially when we hear Fred say the Ellie is looking for a horse that didn't have shoes on.
Well, I have pictures of Summer with a pony. I think it was with a pony, but she was petting it. Actually, I think it's on a couple of my thumbnails. I don't know where it is right at this very moment. I could probably find it if I wanted to. But yeah, she like horses probably. I would be almost certain.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And I've always feared that. But then I saw last night the lady and husband that I interviewed Dawn there in the beginning. I saw her post something. I don't know if it's still up. I saw her post a video. I didn't watch it, but it said something about a cowboy, Candace and her cowboys. And I was like, oh my God. I mean, like, but I can't find it now. So
where
so
was
I need to
it?
go back. It was on the Share and Mr. Share thing.
Oh, okay.
I want to know why you keep talking about cowboys, TT. Is that a Cornbread Mafia thing?
And her title was something about Candace knowing the cowboys. And that kind
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out. Send me the link to that later.
Well, I went back and I couldn't find it, so I don't know if she changed it or.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
I mean,
Annie says random thought maybe someone on horse came up there and got her. I don't know.
I think like if you go by the footprints, the only way feasible to me is of being one foot. There's only one footprint, not two. Just the one footprint on each place, right?
Yeah.
Just one foot. So it was like she was set down for just a second and put back up. So to me, that is like, okay, if somebody was carrying her, they would be adult prints there, but there's not. So if they were on a horse and she was on it, and could they not put her down a minute and then bring her back up to readjust her? Maybe she was fighting with them. I don't know. But for the footprints to only be one footprint. That's the only thing I can think of. And then the one place was, I guess, her skin particle had the scent dog was a skin particle dog, and he laid down in the yard. I don't know.
I have never heard of a skin particle dog.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know. We're gonna go to Chat GPT. Is there a search dog that is called a skin particle dog? That's a really good question, and it sounds like you might be referring to a cadaver dog or a human remains detective dog. But let's clarify the skin particle part. There's no official canine called a skin particle dog, but the team could informally describing a specialized cadaver dog or scent dog trained to detect minute traces of human decomposition, such as skin cells, blood, bone, teeth, tissue, or bodily fluids, decomposition, odor molecules left on the soil, clothing, or objects. Here's how that works in real world terms. All humans consistently shed microscopic skin particles, about 30,000 to 40,000 per minute. HRD dogs can be trained to pick up trace human scent decomposition odor from those particles. Some handlers casually call this skin particle scent work. When the dogs find areas where the body had been, even if the remains are no longer present. So while skin particle dog isn't an official category, The function it describes does exist within the advanced HRD and forensic scent detection work. All right. Back to TT.
And even the scream, I always wondered too. I think I sent it to you the other night trying to
The horse,
show you.
yeah.
Yes, how a horse can scream and how it does sound like it is. They can really. I've been on horses and they get spooked. If they get like scared, they can sense snakes and bears a mile away. And I mean, they'll just, if you have a real spooky horse, they make the weirdest sounds anyway. But
Yeah,
when some of them can scream, and it is a very loud squeal. So I thought about that too.
Do you think Jody would know the sound of a squeamish horse who's screaming? I wonder. She probably would.
I don't have any.
Jody, do you think it was a horse that you heard? That's an interesting question since everybody seems to be searching for a horse, according to Fred. A horse, a truck, a motorcycle, a couple meth addicts. My husband works up at this convenience store now. I'm going to be taking his place. They sell these. It pisses me off to no end. They're poisoning our community, these stores in our neighborhood, and they're actually selling, like, they're called Rose, and it's a meth pipe. Crazy to me. Anyways, do you think it could be a horse's scream, Jody?
I don't have anything else to say about her, and I just would rather not even say anything about her.
It's all right. TC, she's not saying who her offender is.
No,
She's not naming him.
there's many there, and I didn't just have that one incident happen. There was another incident that happened with someone else as well in the area. It wasn't to that extreme, but it was inappropriate. So I knew that it wasn't right. Our families would get together and they would play cards and drink and play music, and the kids, I mean, we were just kids. We would run all over them mountains. We didn't have, that was way before cell phones or anything. So we explored everywhere. And they have beautiful, beautiful places up there. There's one place that is up there that has nothing but willow trees, and you can swing across the creek with the willow tree leaves.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's beautiful country. It is. It's just, there's some really bad people in it right now. And I'm praying that they take them down. But I know I'm not alone. I know there's more women. And I hope that my offender could be totally innocent. So I can't say for sure that I know that he did it. So, I don't know. So I can't accuse him. But I can only say what happened to me and what I know. And what I know was so close to Summer.
And Northern Light, she spoke to TBI.
Yes, several times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't spoken with local law enforcement. I don't trust. And I'm not saying they're all bad, because I know some of them and wonderful people. I don't know. I just have a bad feeling. It's small town stuff. It's
I don't think
dangerous.
there's anything wrong with you going to TBI, though. I would probably say it would be the best bet.
Yeah.
Going to TBI over a small town sheriff is probably best when you're, dealing with something like this. That's who they're rooting everything to now. Anyways, it's all going to TBI, from what I understand.
Yeah, I didn't, and I requested that they keep me private and not share that information. However, my information, I think, was leaked. I told you about that.
Yeah, right. Well, I think that's why you're up here with just your screen name. So there should be nothing that comes from this. Nobody knows your name, not that I'm aware of here. So I'll know exactly who did it.
Well, I'm not scared. I don't have a criminal thing. I have a speeding ticket from a really long time ago, and I got a parking ticket one time. But I have law enforcement in my family, and the business that I do, I know a lot of really good people that would protect me, lawyers and stuff like that. So
The law enforcement that she told me she was going to take information to, and then later did not take information to. It's in the text messages I shared earlier. Also, the law enforcement where the officer was her uncle, and her undressed baby pictures ended up on a desk with a man that she claims looked like Tim Mullen or was Tim Mullen. It's changed a few times. Just a lot of involvement from these locals that say they don't live there no more. Very similar to Chicken on a Stick. Both related to Light Hauler Road, both related to Frank Light, both playing fuck shit games with Trudy, the PI, three-way calls with Squall, friends with Linda, just a lot of crazy shit.
I feel protected.
I think you've been really respectful, and you haven't been, I don't think you've overdone it at all. I think you've made things very short and to the point, easy for people to understand. And I think it's important that you did this for sure, of course, on your own time for Summer's sake, because we still have no idea where she is. And the fact of the matter is, I could sit here all day long and say I think Candace and Grandis are guilty, but it doesn't mean that they are, you know?
Right, right. I mean, I do the same. I think we all have. Really,
I'll go back
we've all-
and forth. And everybody in the chat who has stories, I told Tennessee Truth to go back through later on and read, because like I said, there really is so much in the chat for you to read. I would encourage you to, like, later before you go to bed, maybe just to see all of the positivity towards you, because there's so much love for you and you'll continue to get love. You've always been very well adored here. So
I know in other channels I'm known as Tiffany's Mod, so
oops, sorry. I know.
it's okay. I'll wear my.
Well, no, it's funny though, because even when you and I have, you know, had very different ideas throughout all this, but I mean, you're more than my mod, I would say.
Yeah,
you and I
mean,
didn't even have the same theory at all.
right. I know you're the only person that that I can talk to that we can agree to disagree and still get along and still love each other respectively. You
Yeah.
know, like because I'm open minded. It's just about being more open minded. Don't have tunnel vision. You know, like
I try not to have television. It's hard sometimes, but
I believe that by now they know. I do. In my opinion, the way that I feel that they, and I fear that they're responsible. I don't know. I
you
can't.
really never know. I mean, eventually,
Mhm.
and maybe even this still being out there might make people a little bit more aware, open up their eyes a little bit, you know.
Yeah, because I
But
don't think if they could get away with it. Like everybody said, how can they get away with it? Like,
Mhm.
but if they have all these other people involved, and it's clear that Candace was scared to say anything.
yeah, Candace I'll always be bothered by that. That was very
Yeah.
telling.
Me too.
When they said
Me too.
cornbread mafia, I'm like, what the hell is cornbread mafia? I had to like go, you know, everybody was Googling cornbread mafia, right?
Well, I
But-
knew what they were like. I was like, because I immediately like knew, it was, I don't know what they call themselves, but the KKK is real here. Jody see that video? That is real. It's real in the whole areas. Like they really do. But no, they don't do anything to children. I've cleaned for, but like yeah, they those videos before. That's what made me really be like, oh my god, because like I said, she's associated. Well, she's not related, but she was associated to.
So Jody's saying she's not associated to the KKK. However, I believe we share cousins that are. We know Fanning is. We know his son is. I had that the other day when Jody was on panel with me. We're at the 2-hour mark. I'm going to show you guys some more of my stuff. I make cards and invitations and journals. These are some of the cards I make. This is a birthday party invitation to a sock party. I put the inserts on the inside. I have packets of them, although I can't find the packet. I have other ones. Here's a Harry, you've been hereby summoned to attend a tea party being held for, and you put the information on it. If you're having a tea party, I have, Tiffany, this one's for you since Jody has doxed you. These are cute, and you can use these further than Halloween. Some of them are meant for Halloween. But we're creepy and we're kooky, mysterious and spooky. We're all together ooky. Oh, happy Halloween. It's the Addams family. I really do hope, thank you so much for allowing us to listen to your lives that you unprivated for me. I'm going to go over the other one tomorrow. I think at the end of this, Squall comes on, so I'm going to stick around for more than my 2 hours. But we're not shy. We're contagious. More Addams family. I myself am strange and unusual. Little cards. And then I have my pizza party ones. You have the little girl. It's the same thing as the sock hop. And then I have some fall cards that I made, which actually, if you're interested, I'm not going to sell. I have plenty of these, but this particular package, if you want to note from Crystal's Crime and Music, just a little hello. Email me your address and I'll send you a hello and a sticker or something. Pen pals. Looking for things to do other than YouTube. But that's it for my shit for the night. All right, back to Tiffany. We're going to stay till this live is over. We have about a half hour left. I think Squall jumps up on panel when there's a fight. I'm not sure, but
She's associated to 2 or 3 of the RSOs that's local there.
Jody
So-
Suez.
Yeah, and or a criminal. I mean, probably more than that if you count the criminals that she is alleged to hang around. I don't know her. Like, I just know what, like, the small town gossip and the beauty salons and stuff like that. The girl
Mhm.
talks.
Yeah,
But
gossip around
I've heard
town.
a lot of past things that she's done in the past and um, I remember her when we were 5, but that was just a short memory, and we just rode the school bus together. So I don't know her. I moved away when I was 6.
Yeah, you were young when you moved away, so a lot of people might not even remember you. And if they do remember you, they might not even know who you are because there's so many, right?
Well, and me being related to them on both sides going to kind of throw them off too. But I was told before I did this with you that my name was already on their list, whatever that means. So
So whose list did they say that your name was on?
they said what boys it was, but I can't
okay.
say.
Mhm.
I let the TBI know. I let them know that my name was supposed to be on the list and stuff.
So somebody told you that your name was put on a list, or did they mention it on like a live?
No, they told me directly that
Right.
they already, and I knew that Burger King guy was, he had said publicly on a video somebody had sent me, he wanted to know who I was. And from what I told you,
Why would he want to know who you are? That's strange. Okay. Well, I'll keep my eye out. What kind of list? Northern Light. She was told that her name was put on a list before she did this, I guess.
Okay, so the list she was talking about was a list that had 30 people on it Squall was threatening people with. So I'm going to assume this is when Squall's going to come up on panel if she does during
I was
this.
told that my name was put on the list and they would not come for me. They would come for the people that I love just to hurt me even more and then torture me. I mean, I was told that would happen and that my name was on the list along with theirs because we were speaking like out. And that scared me. So I called you right away and was like, which I called TBI and everything.
So did you report it to TBI about the list? Okay, so I know I'm remembering looking from, I don't know how much, I don't know if I would put much stock into that person. I think they were trying to maybe feel threatened or maybe in some way. Never mind.
Well, anybody that has like tried to come out, like I've noticed, I don't know, it just seems like anybody that's wanting to find somewhere is getting attacked. You know, like there's this one person that thinks he's in charge of everything that, you know, and everybody is getting threatened. And it's like, I don't know how they're finding out addresses and doing things. I mean, I'm sure it's easier than I think. I'm older and I'm not tech savvy.
I'm not really tech savvy either. Don't worry. People think I am, but I'm not. I don't see Kelly Marie in my chat, Mona Lisa. What does Kelly need? I just tried to go back and find her, but I couldn't see her unless I just happened to skip over it. That is sad and scary. Yeah, Salty. And I think that maybe that probably pushed her to speak out even more so because you're being threatened not to speak. And it's almost like, I shall do speak because then you really know, something isn't right.
Well, it's like I told you, my name's already on the list, so I'm just not, I'm not, it's like I told you too, I'm not accusing my offender because he could be innocent. You know, I suspect everyone. Literally, I'm so suspicious of every character and some. I mean, I wrote down a list the other day of suspects and it filled the whole page. I had like 30 people and I'm sure I could go on and on and on. You know, so it's just nobody thinks that it's more than just on and Candace and Grandis. I think there's more involved. If they sold her, if that theory is the way that it goes, then there's more involved and there's more higher up involved, which means nobody's going to be talking. Like, you know.
Well, I guess it depends on who you are. Like, I never thought that you would ask to speak. You really don't know. Sometimes you think that people will, keep quiet and they don't. Sometimes you think people will speak out and they never do. And I mean, the chances are pretty good. I would say the chances are probably pretty high with, if you know of 8 people that have been through what you have, chances are there will be someone else to come forward and it'll probably be someone you least expect, not the person that,
I pray they do. I do. Because, I mean, I can't go back and press charges, or I would. I would love to have justice. But most of all, I would love for the laws to change and tighten down and stuff. But there are other women that have share the same experience with the same monster. And I pray that they come forward because,
Statements like that bother me when you find her going to carnivals with Jankies and rap and doing the vigils. I keep saying it, but it's almost like, are these statements true or are you friends with them, TT? I think Summer Wells community really needs to know where you stand because you've played a lot of games. And I'm telling you, your shit's in my emails. I've shown the screenshots. We could do it again another night. I'm not going to do that right now. But I want to know why I'm getting messages for your old man.
they have even more like they were older. So,
Hi,
you know,
John.
I think
One
for me being younger
more.
and being able to overcome and heal from it, it was easier. But the other women were like at least 21 and up. So they really, like, it's harder, I think, when we get older for something like that to recover from. I think when we're kids, we can heal faster or something.
You think so?
Well, I put it away, and I felt like that I'd overcome from it until Summer went missing, and it opened it all back up.
It comes right back.
Yes, just like it. I mean, it was like I said, it stopped me dead in my tracks. It's changed my whole life. Summer has brought and bringing so much light to all this evil and darkness that has been lurking and like just in that area that needs to be taken care of. Like they need to be locked up. They need to be put to sleep. I don't want to go too crazy about. I think that sex offenders should get a different type of punishment, especially if it's a child.
I absolutely agree with you. I would absolutely torture sex offenders. There's no doubt about it. I don't know why any of them are roaming around. I really don't. I think they should all have signs in their houses. I think it should be on their license plate. I think everywhere they go, everybody should know that they're a sex offender. That's the way I feel about it. They should have to have a sign on their back or on their forehead, alerting everybody around them. Because they're sick. You know, they're sick. You don't even know that these people are around you until you go look yourself, right? So you could get an alert through phone or email telling you that a new sex offender has moved into your neighborhood or within so many miles, right? But when you're out at the grocery store, when you're grabbing a burger, whatever, you have no clue who's standing next to you. And you have to really go look yourself. If you go pull up, I don't know if maybe one of my mods could grab it. There's an app where you can actually check around you to see.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, especially in these rural areas, a lot of people on the day-to-day are so busy. They're not looking to see who lives around them. They're just, going about their day-to-day, sending the kids out to play, doing whatever. And next thing you know, there's, a child missing.
Yes. And, like they wouldn't have even been charged had not somebody brave enough came forward and told. Because I was a child, but those other ladies that I told you, they were older and they never pressed charges. So there was one that came forth and turned him in, or he wouldn't have ever been registered.
There you go.
Squall also said there was 8 ladies that was turning Frank Light in, but couldn't come out publicly and state who those ladies were. I also want you to remember there was a huge fight between Annie Saranac, Frank Light's sister, and TT over this picture of them on a horse and one in the woods. We'll get into that another night. I'm going to have to go back and find more past lives. But while we're doing this, before I get to the end of this, let's remind you guys why I'm here with this today. Hold on one second. This is from an earlier live. Come on, TT. The link's there. I'm waiting for you. You snaky ass bitch. I had caught her trolling. I need to go. I'm here. I'm going over to the side of my room here to look for a notebook where I wrote down word for word pretty much everything TT told me. So I'm also going to check and see if she blocked me on Facebook yet so we can go through our messenger. Okay? Alexa, turn on the lights. I'm pretty sure TT's coming to my chats telling you all that everything I said was the truth, right? In the past. I can't remember what lives she came on, but I'm going to search for him. Okay? Since I twist everything. Look at this. I think I found it immediately. Haha. Come on, TT. You grabbing that link? You said let's go live. Ain't that what you just put in my comment? What the fuck is this shit going on? Why are you with Tim?
All right. First of all, you're the one that told me to make that account, Crystal.
because you have me blocked on my other one. Do you not
I do-
remember shit?
Wait, what? I told you to make.
Wait,
Oh yeah,
what?
yeah.
Run your
Okay.
mouth some more. Jump the gun some more. This is what you do. You're reckless.
I'm
This is why
reckless.
people don't trust you. This
Okay,
is why
tell these people,
don't hear
TT.
you.
Tell
No,
these people. Tell
what?
these
Tell
people
these
how you know
people
Tim
what?
Mullen, TT. Tell these people
I
how you
met
know
the
Tim Mullen.
man one time. I do not know him.
Okay, tell them how you tell the public how you thought he was taking your naked baby pictures.
I didn't say that. I said that someone else said that. I said that. Not me.
You said
honey.
someone else said
You
that.
get shit twisted up. You don't
Okay,
listen.
so why did his face
No.
look familiar to
You-
you, TT?
Because
Why did
he
his face
looks-
look familiar to you?
Because he looks like the man that took pictures of me
But
as
you
a
just
child.
wait a minute. But you just
He
said
looks and
someone else
resembles
told
the
you
man.
he took the pictures. But he looked like the man that was taking the pictures. Were there pictures of you on Johnson City police station desk?
You just told the world something that I told you in
I
a
don't
private.
give a fuck. This is about
I
summer,
know
right?
you don't. No,
You
this
said
ain't
this
about,
is about
summer,
summer.
bitch.
Why you
This
been
is
on
not
here lying,
about
dude?
summer. This is not about summer, you crazy
Then
bitch.
what's it about? Why you
This
so
is
obsessed with
about
hanging out
you.
with the man
This
you
is
think
about
took pictures of you?
This is about you and
No,
only you.
This is about
And
you.
No,
This is about
no.
summer and how you've inserted yourself
No.
as a local.
I
You
have
come from your
inserted.
line
Yes,
and you
yes,
take it.
I have. Yes, I have. I have
Yeah.
inserted myself. I have told my story privately to people
What
off of
story?
YouTube that you and the other person that just you're no
That you
different
gave me
than she
permission
is.
to
You
put
know
out?
that?
That it was
You're no
Frank White in the
different.
woods?
You are
and with
no
2 other
different than
teenage
her.
boys?
You are
told
no
me to put it
different.
out.
I
You
told
told
you
me to put that
personal
out.
things about which shut the fuck up. You wanted me up here. Listen to me. Stop running your damn mouth and listen. That's the
Go ahead.
part that you don't understand, Crystal. You don't listen. You do not
Every
listen.
time I have put
You
something out
don't
about
listen.
UTP,
Listen.
you have been
No,
in
hold
my
up.
chat.
No,
Wait a minute.
let me
You're
talk.
on my
No.
panel. You don't come up
Yeah,
here and tell me to
no.
listen. So
You-
shut your fucking trap. Every time you have come, every time I've spoken about you, you have come in my chat and agreed with everything I said.
I do.
So how the fuck are you going to turn around
I
and say
do.
I'm
I
twisting
do.
shit?
I agree with a lot of what you say, Crystal.
Oh, but now you're in my comments and you're over there, man.
I'm in
dude.
your comments doing what? Anything that I say in that count that you can see is nothing I wouldn't say to anybody. Anything I've
Okay.
ever
Did
told
you tell Candace while you were standing there with Tim that it was Tim that took your naked baby pictures and that they sat on a Johnson City police?
No, I
Yes.
did not tell her that Tim took
Oh,
my
okay.
pictures.
So why
because
are
he
you with
didn't.
her? Why are
Tim
you
did
with
not
her?
take my pictures. Tim Mullins did not take my pictures when I was a baby.
Okay, so what did you just say to me?
Just because he resembles, I've told Candace, yes, he resembles the man that did that to me. He does. He looks just like him. Just like him. And I've told you that. I haven't told YouTube that. Thank you so much, Crystal. Thank you.
I don't care. I think they need to hear it.
I know you don't
'Cause
care.
I don't know that
I know
you
you don't
told
care.
PIs that.
You're
You told me you
making it
went to the police
evident.
with that, but you never
are making it evident
ever,
that
ever.
you do not care. You do not care at
I
all.
don't.
No.
Look, guys, you want to see how she lies? She created that YouTube for me. I'm about to show you all something, okay? There you go. This is the comment she left me this morning. Did she jump off?
Read it. No, I'm here.
Here's comments she left me this morning, right? I ain't going to read the comments because that ain't what's important. The thing is that I'm going to prove you to be a fucking liar. Okay? Right now,
Prove
just
it.
by the comments you left
Do
me.
it. You're proving yourself.
She says, I made that page because of you. Yes, she made this page because of me, right?
Because you have me blocked on my
With that
other
picture,
account.
right? With that
You
picture,
have me-
right?
You have me blocked on my
Okay,
other
hold
account.
on.
I chatted in your account all day the other day and forgot all about that you couldn't see me. You have no idea. You forget shit, Crystal. You
Okay.
forget. You don't listen to
No, I don't.
understand.
I listen quite well.
You
TT.
don't comprehend.
I
No,
don't
you don't.
comprehend. But everything I said prior in my
You
shit was
proven
true,
yourself.
right? But everything I said prior when you were in my shit was true, right? But now I don't comprehend.
I'm not
Okay,
saying
now
I
our
don't- I
picture
still-
changed.
I still agree
See,
with everything that
girl,
you're saying, pretty much.
Now look, she made this page because of me. Okay, hold on. Hold on.
Because you couldn't see me because you had me blocked.
This is the same
You
account.
told me. You told me to
Excuse
make
me,
it
I'm
TT
speaking.
after
This
dark
is the
or
same
something.
account that she messaged me from
Yes.
this
Read
morning.
the messages. Read it.
Yeah,
There's
I
my
will read
face.
the
There's what I
messages.
look like, everybody. There it is. Let Crystal tell the world everything she knows about
Dude,
me.
you're on
TT.
YouTube leaving
Come on.
comments. They already know
Yep.
what the fuck you look like. And that ain't
And I
no.
don't care. And I don't care because
And
I have
you don't
nothing
care.
to
So
hide.
don't come up on here and tell me, hey, yeah, that Crystal's telling people what I look like. Bitch, you got your picture on there. You don't want people to know what you look like. Don't put your picture up.
No, I want people to know. I want you to know.
Then
I
don't
want
come
you
up
to
here
know.
and cry that I put your picture up there.
I'm not crying, babe. I'm letting you talk. I'm letting you show yourself.
Come on, let's go over these notes, TT, since I switch everything.
Go
Who's
over
Michael
everything that I
Doss,
told you
TT?
in private.
Who's Michael Doss,
Go ahead.
TT?
Go ahead and go over everything I've told you.
I
in private.
will.
Go
Who's
ahead.
Michael
Start
Doss,
at the
TT?
beginning. Start at the beginning.
You
Let's
start at
go.
the beginning. You
I
start.
ain't got your notes. I can't see your notes. Read them. I can't see your notes. I don't know what you
Who's
wrote
Michael
down.
Doss, TT?
Just because
That
you
was the
wrote it
beginning.
down, right?
Who's
Why didn't
Michael
you
Doss?
record me? Hey, I told you to record everything I told
Who's
you.
Angela
Why didn't
Doss? TT. Who's Squall? TT. Who babysat for you? TT. Hello?
What is it you want to know?
I just
What do
asked
I
you
need?
4 questions. Who's
Okay.
Michael Doss, TT?
That's my cousin.
Okay, and what did he do to you, TT?
I'm not telling you anything like that. You are sick. How would you
Well,
ask
okay, Did
somebody
he go
that?
to your aunt's house, TT, and threaten
You are sick.
I'm sick. Goodbye,
Yes,
bitch.
you are.
Now, I think everybody needs to turn their attention to TT and understand why she inserted herself in this case. Okay?
What if I'm gonna say that you were wrong about yourself and who are you at all? Perhaps you'll say that I am out of my mind, but then you will think about it all night. What if I'm gonna say we are the same? You just forgot how we got into these games. What if I'm gonna say that you were a fool? Well, let me ask, what does it mean to you? Doesn't mean to Giggity boom. What does it mean to you? Wakey, wakey. Biggest jump is what it means to you. The circle here is endless, honey. Tell it to your lying friend whose name is your ego. Be able to create a hell and destroy it as well. I've been talking to myself, learn this spell. How do you know if you are dreaming? So many options have been hidden. My shoe with a goddamn feeling, but this knowledge is forbidden. there's no profit in their freedom of stay for the leader. The shadow of delusion only gets bigger. What if there's no me and there's no you? My kingdom's empty and free. What if there's no me? Too many words I go through. But I'm curious, human. So could you tell me what it means to what does it mean to you? Wakey, wakey. Biggest job is what it means to you. Biggest job is what it means to you.
A little chill for you guys. Just to chill from all that screaming. All right, let's finish this up.
See? And there's flaws in every system.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't serve too much time at all. It was like a slap on the wrist. And it's like, it's not right because, I mean, they're on that registry, but it's like you said, you can go to church and be sitting beside of,
Exactly.
or, somewhere you think is safe.
Thank you, Lippy. Lippy just dropped, you guys, Lippy just dropped in the chat where you can go check in your local area to find out about sex offenders in your local area, people that are close to you. If you click on that link, put your zip code in, you can find all of the sickos that live in your general vicinity. Really important people do that. And check it every couple months. You know what I mean? Check it once a month or.
Yeah. It's.
I'm trying to go through here and see if there's any questions. Does anybody have any questions for her? Before, I don't want to keep her too long because it's already 8 o'clock and this is heavy stuff. So if anybody has questions for Tennessee Truth, ask them now. I might have missed a couple in the beginning. I think I actually did. And if I did, I apologize, but I don't want to interrupt her. So if you want, you're more than welcome, to ask her if she feels she wants to answer. Ask her whatever questions you want to before we wrap up the live stream. But Tennessee Truth, is there anything that you haven't talked about that you want to talk about? Because I know that we might talk about something different that you might not want to talk about on here, and I can't say what those things are, the things that stand out to you that are important to say on live. And if you do forget anything, you can come back up here anytime you want. You know that. So
thank you.
You're
I know that I've not been on YouTube that long, like I said, and I didn't know that this world even existed.
okay. You've been around so it doesn't even matter how long you've been
A lot of
on.
people have took me the wrong way in the beginning, especially because I defended Dawn and Candace and had a lot of sympathy in the beginning. I didn't realize that they had lived here. Well, and then just, getting to know and learning more and more and then watching more and more that was her. And it changed my mind. I can't help it. I mean, it's right there in front of you. It's like if it's a video or a recording, it's proof, like it's there. So you can't deny it. And I hope that Summer is found soon and that my fears are not right. I pray every day that my theory is wrong and that I'm wrong and that she's, found alive. I don't want to lose hope on that. And a lot of people have seen or said a bunch of mean things, just like you had brought forth not too long ago about the comments that you say. Even though somebody's a suspect, it doesn't mean that you yell that your baby's dead to them.
Absolutely. Yeah, that bothered me so much. It's more about Summer and respecting Summer at the end of the day. And some people just don't have that wherewithal about them, that they don't even realize that they are wrong for saying it. They say these horrible things, right? Like I could sit here for 8 months and do these live streams and we can joke about whatever and rag on somebody, but I could never myself personally scream that at somebody. There's a difference. I guess it's all about boundaries. If you have boundaries, if you do or you don't, I don't know. I think it's clear to see who does and who doesn't. But
yeah.
No, I personally, I'm not a fan of Candace, but I would never stand in front of her car and scream that at her. Hell no. Wouldn't do that to anybody, So, and I do think about that kind of stuff. What if we're wrong? People think that you don't think about those types of things. I do. I think about that a lot, actually.
I do too. I want to be wrong, and I don't want to be wrong about them. I want to be wrong about what I think my theory is. I want my theory to be wrong.
So If all right, I'm trying to think. I don't want to like. Maybe I should just shut up because I don't want to give too much away, especially at the end of my live. Because I was going to say something, but I don't know if I really should. I'm trying to respect your privacy. I don't usually plan lives, and I knew that this one was going to happen, so I'm a little out of my element. I'm more like dropping in my lap type of person, so I get anxious. Dusty
Go
just-
ahead.
she's like, I'm nervous. I was like, I get nervous too, though.
I'm not nervous now. I'm
I'm
better.
so glad.
I'm not
glad.
looking at anything. I'm just talking to you. You told me to just act like we're talking on the phone.
Yeah, that's what I said before. I'm like, just talk like we're talking on the phone. No difference really, except you have an audience. But you did it.
Yay. And I hope,
got
like I
there, you
said,
made
more
it.
comes out, more locals with the truth. You know, that somebody could be holding just that little bit of knowledge of anything. I mean, there's no way that that baby girl left out of there and nobody saw anything. There's no way.
No one.
I mean,
But that
thank
leads me
you.
back to, did she ever go home? Do you know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
then it brings me back to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Was she ever even there? Did she ever even make it home that day? Who knows what happened? But that's why I say it's all relevant. So you coming up here to tell this could open other doors. And really, I do want to thank you, Tennessee Truth, for coming up here and being so brave and being open to talking about this. Like I said, I didn't think that you were going to, but thank you very much for.
I wasn't, but I really appreciate you. And you know, I know you and my husband talked me into it. Like as far as saying,
I was like, go ask your
just
husband. Talk to
Yeah.
him, see what he says, and then let me know.
yeah, I was just really, you know, I knew I'd already got threats and whatnot, and I'm just like, okay, I don't believe if they knew me, like I'm not saying.
I also believe somewhere along down the lines, and Tiffany can confirm it or not, that Tennessee Truth's husband, no matter what creator it is, she talks to, he got to get on the phone with them and just say, hi, who is this? Hear your voice. It's almost like he's recording you, and then he says goodbye, and he leaves and gives the phone back to TT. In my case, he told me if I ever heard his wife, he would unalive me. Your wife hurt me. She was trolling me. She has many accounts and many different names, and she plays fuck shit games. I've spent the whole day proving that. The question is, Justin Hensley, why? Sue me.
Anything bad, don't think, but I may be taken the wrong way. Who knows? But I was scared, and I didn't want to distract anything from Summer's case. I never have, and I knew that I had to be careful, and I can't say names and whatnot because you know it could hinder Summer's investigation.
Right.
So, but I hope that more local people come and speak up. You know, and tell more. There's all kinds, and maybe somebody you know can put it together. I'm hoping that she's found. I'm so surprised. And getting it off of my chest and letting it out and letting everybody know in chat, I've been accused of being, everybody but who I am. So like all the characters, all the suspects, I've even been accused of being 423 Chase because of the 423.
Oh my
And
God.
I want to take that off. I did at first whenever, but I was like, no, I'm not letting him steal that from me.
No,
No.
that's your
Yeah.
saying.
So I'm not going to do that. But yeah, I want Summer to be found just like everybody. I want it to be about Summer and everybody's getting lost in the drama. There was a lot got stirred up with that bunch that just came through, and I'm pretty sure they're coming back. So it's just
I don't know if
exhausting.
they are or not.
I don't want people to stop talking about Summer, but there's nothing new coming out or anything. So,
I
unless
think
it's
that if the community isn't careful, people are stop talking about Summer because it has turned into such a circus that the people who are really, the people who are really in it with all their heart, you can tell who all those people are, but they're even getting like a little standoffish at this point. I know I have pulled back a little bit. It's bad. It's gotten pretty bad. And I mean, it's easy to fall into the drama of it if you're not careful. And I don't think that as a creator, I could keep my mouth shut with some of the things that I'd rather go and talk shit in my Discord. I'm being honest because it's not going to do anything. Create more issues out in the open.
Right.
But stuff like this, I'll always come live for. If it's important and anybody ever needs to talk, or if anybody ever needs a platform, you can always email me or get in touch with me. And Tennessee Truth, you're always welcome to come back anytime you want. I just ask that the people that listen to this are respectful of the fact that if you think you might know who are abusers, and I'm really thankful to my chat, I didn't see his name in here once, and I appreciate that because it's respectful to Tennessee Truth. Just be careful with how you discuss this all, because I would like this to be like easy for her to come out and talk about without having to deal with any kind of repercussions or anything like that.
Well, you told me to expect hate, so I prepared myself. So
Yeah. Well, I
Okay,
don't want to, I have to tell you to expect it because it's the reality of it. And I'm not going to ever put you in a position to come up here and tell, oh, it's going to be fine. Because I don't know what doors may open or what may come about from you talking about it. That's the truth, So yeah, of course, I guess expect hate. Isn't that sad? But I expect hate every time I go live. So that's why I have to be honest with you.
Okay, you are, and I love you to death, and I'll be
Aw.
here. Yeah, so
you're
you
very
helped me a lot. The talks, the encouragement, your words. I wouldn't have been able to come up without you and my husband's support.
I'm glad that you have him. That's important. You know, like you don't want to put people out there and know that when they get off the live, they don't have anybody to talk to about, you know, how they might be feeling or whatever. That was like one of the first things I asked you really. Because I do worry about that kind of stuff and I don't want to put you in a bad position and you might want to talk about it. Right. But then I have to look at it from a standpoint of how is this going to affect you? But ultimately you make your own decisions. You know what I mean? And like I said, either way, I was going to support you.
Thank you for that.
And everybody here has been really supportive. I don't think there's been like a couple trolls. That's about it. And they weren't even talking about you, just like random stuff. So you've been really good. I'm so proud of you.
Thanks. Yeah, I calmed down. Thank God.
I'm glad. I don't want you to be
Yeah.
You
And
did it
you
for someone.
handled, I love the way you handle yourself. Like everybody knows not to mess with you. You know, I love it.
So at all. I don't think that's true.
You're a hero.
I get messed with all the time. It's just a part of being on YouTube. Hope she gets some help if she feels she has a lot of support, Jennifer. She really does. Okay, Shanna. Everybody's proud of you, yeah. And we all care about you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you got through it without, you know, crying or anything crazy, you know.
I didn't want to get too emotional. And, you know, I can say that what happened to me was horrific. It wasn't normal. It was very mean. Like, not grooming. It was an attack. It was very, very bad. And the other women that I've spoken with, it was a nightmare. I mean, they have told me that he had equipment and everything. That's just sick. Like, that's how sick. It's, I try not to have bitterness and unforgiveness. I do. But when I think about that, it makes me hate the ways I don't know. I struggle with it. I really feel like that people like that need to be put away and never let loose ever. So there's a lot of secrets coming out. Like a lot of things has been exposed in Summer's case. A lot of sketchy people.
So when you say that you've heard that he had equipment, like, do you feel comfortable saying what he had or what was alleged? No. Okay.
He had like things that had your hands and would bond you down, and like he would use things, objects, and it wasn't just your I don't know how to say typical attack, I guess.
Okay.
He got pleasure out of your pain, like inflicting the pain.
Yeah, Lee Marie, I would imagine something like that. Yeah. So it's really very dark. This is really serious, you guys. I mean, you don't have to.
I knew him when he was a kid. Now he's a grown man. He's like an old man now.
Right. And this person is literally like less than 10 minutes from the Wells house. So really, you do have to take this into consideration. You're speaking about some really serious stuff. It's very sadistic. And I don't want her to be up here crying here. I'm going to mute her. I'll unmute her in a second. I don't want her to get upset. She is a survivor. You okay, Tennessee Truth?
Yeah, I'm okay.
All right, but you don't have to continue talking about that. I don't want to make you upset. I'm not trying to bring up horrible. Her husband's there with her judging.
Yeah, my adult daughter's here with me.
All right, good.
Too. My kids are grown, and they know all about it. They know how I cry for Summer every day.
Big hugs, KB says. We're here for you, and it is a big step. She's never spoke about this before publicly, and it's a huge deal for. And if you need to call me later, you totally can. I'm here for you. And I know that there's a lot of people in the chat that are saying like you're free to email them if you ever need to talk. And I really think you're going to get a lot of love in the comments. And make sure you check the comment section and stuff too, because and the chat. I'm serious. There's so many loving comments for you.
Thank you.
Guys for being so good to her. I know. What'd you say, hon?
I just wanted to find this baby girl. I just I wanted to get that off of my chest, and you and my husband told me that could help me to feel better about everything. But I just want Summer back. I want her home. I want her not there. I want her found. I want her alive. I want her to be somewhere to be taken care of and have a happy life, and us see updates on her through the years of how beautiful of a woman she becomes and whatever. I just don't want to think about what could possibly be, but I have and I do every day, and it's tormenting to fear that what if this happened? What if and trying to figure it out and just staying up to date. I really backed away from a lot of channels, and I don't listen to the negativity. That's helped a lot.
Good. I'm glad. Yeah, I don't listen to a lot of it either. I try to be really selective with what I listen to nowadays. There's so much to listen to. It can make your head spin. So you kind of have to be selective, you know?
Yep.
Woman of Steel says, I'm so angry about this. He doesn't deserve to be walking the earth. I pray they have just hidden Summer and she's being taken care of. Yeah, I've always hoped and prayed that Summer's being taken care of. Probably isn't what's going on, you know? But
Yeah.
it is really angering to know that people commit these criminal acts and they just walk and breathe among us like regular everyday people. And I mean,
Yeah.
it lasts forever. That's the worst part about it. It never goes away. But you're so brave.
I just want to help Summer any way I can.
I think it's helpful. I think all of the things that people do when they want to help Summer, they do, right? This is your way of trying to help her. And you're not the only one who's spoken out in this way to help Summer. And I think that those who put, their safety on the line, their heart on the line, and all of their hurts and all their scars open wide up, right?
Yeah, it does.
It's not for nothing. No
Right.
matter what, even if it doesn't help Summer, you tried. And we thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for helping me through it. Thank you for all your respect.
Always.
I'm going to jump down, but I'll listen to you if you're going to stay on.
I'm going to check on you in a little bit. When I end my live, I'll probably pop dinner in because I haven't done that yet. I'm so late on dinner, but I'm going to check on you. I'm going to make sure you're okay. So make sure that you answer.
I'm okay. I promise.
All right.
Tell her I'm okay, Dee Dee.
I have to make sure. All right, honey.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very
You're
welcome anytime. You're always welcome to come back. Bye. Thank you guys for being so good to her. Look at all the love here. Let me highlight these. Thank you for sharing your story, says Polly Socks.
So somewhere along the lines, there's another. She's talking about Frank Light Moonshine. Somewhere along the lines, there's another live somewhere where Squall and TT got into a fight. I don't know if that's on Tiffany Marie's panel. If it is, Tiffany, can you please tag me in that one and unprivate it? I know that I've heard of it. I don't know that I ever heard the live. So I'm on the hunt for it. I believe TT. I believe something happened with her and Frank. However, Squall's shittiness is just really fucking weird to me. With TT, with Trudy, with the PIs, with her ever-changing stories, which you could see in the text messages I showed earlier for the 100th time. But I'm going to end this here. I've been live like a total of 5-6 hours today. That's a lot for me. I'm going to go jam to some music. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to have to probably take the music out of my last few lives, so they may go down for a little bit and come back up without chat. If I can keep them without more, I don't care about the monetization. What I care about is just you guys getting the information that needs to be out there. So if they allow me to keep them without a strike and without removing the music, they'll just stay up the way they are. I'll be back again tomorrow. I want to go over some Benny stuff. I want to finish the Benny. Let me tell you, I'm almost out of StreamYard hours and I don't get any money until Friday. So there's a possibility I can only have one more live, or I might have to wait till Friday. So if I disappear, just so you know, I haven't gone anywhere. I'll be in the community posts. We're going to pick right back up. All right, guys. Peace and love. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow if I have the hours until Friday. Mwah. See you on the flip side. I'm going to take pictures of my stuff too, if anybody's interested. Talk to you later. Good night.